There we saw Subhash Tamang's birdie attempt slip by, missed it low, missed it long. Has a couple of feet to come back. And of course, Shamim on screen. Got this 5 foot to clean up for par. Shamim, I would imagine, would have played this course, Rahul, over 100 times over the years and the span of his career, maybe 150, 200 times.
Shamim now putting for par over here after a chip from off the green, and unfortunately misses it on the low side of the hole. That'll be a drop shot for India's Shamim Khan. Shamim, of course, being one of the top players in the country, and I could really call him a veteran.
No, indeed, and I'm also very impressed with young Subhash Tamang, who we had on screen earlier, all the way from Nepal, making India his home, and we've really seen him grow as a player over the last 3 years.
Back to hole number 13, we have Arjun Prasad, who is lining up for a birdie. He's got a long attempt here on the 13th, which is currently, the pin is at 31 in and 3 from the right. It's another tough pin location, so a prudent shot from Arjun. He should be nearly about 60 feet away from the hole, if I'm not wrong.
Some interesting placements there, Rahul, because that's really the defense the course is going to have. As you mentioned, wide open fairways, big greens, and it's soft, so the ball's not running through the fairways. It's not pretty much drop and stop on the greens, so some tight pins is what is going to be the challenge for the players.
Certainly, Shivas, the only defense that the course will have, unfortunately, that one not making it to the bottom of the cup, but Arjun with a superb attempt here for a birdie. And the only defense that the course will have is these tough pin locations, but I must say that you can put the pins in the bunkers. These players will make birdies nonetheless.
You're absolutely right. It's amazing, amongst the professional golfers, if they miss a green, they're very happy being in the sand because they can control the variables and the landing spot. And you move on to club golf, and you hear them ever so often saying, don't get in the bunker, don't get in the bunker. It's just a matter of practice, perception, and skill levels, of course, if I may add, with a lot of hard work.
And there we've got Julian Kesney for birdie, coming in all the way from France with rounds of 69 and 71, currently at 4 under par for the tournament. Here on hole number 13, he's playing alongside Arjun Prasad. Finishing up for par here, Julian Kesney from France. Julian, a unorthodox method of standing pretty close to the ball during his putts. Rolls that one in beautifully and would stay at the score.
You're right, he was very crouched over the ball, but I suppose putting is very personal. There's so many different ways players hold their putters, use different grips. Well, when I speak grips, I mean the way they use their hands, as well as the different grip sizes that are available and the different contours on the grips for putters. So it's a very, very personal thing, isn't it, Rahul?
Right, back to hole number 10. We have group number 11, Michael Hermer, Christoph Blair, and Robin Williams coming in on to hole number 10. Christoph Blair, of course, already coming in with a second place finish last week at the
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है। मुश्किल खड़ी है, खोले सीना, सामने एक चट्टान है, मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना, चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है, जिद है जिद क्या बावाली, जिद है जिद क्या बावाली, जिद है जिद क्या बावाली, जिद.
So at third week is certainly going to test them the most. And of course, being the DP World event and the Indian Open, the National Open of this country. So it is going to be a tough week, and of course, something that most Indian players want to take home with them.
It's going to be a lovely 3-week feast for the golfers and the fans, and it's just awesome that it's been scheduled so wonderfully.
We have the player.
So it's even use of the distance measuring devices as well, Rahul. I think I'm a big fan of that at some level, because it kind of does speed up play tremendously.
Shivas, I'm a big fan of the game sort of evolving, becoming a lot faster. It's got a lot many more new formats to it. I'm a big fan of all of the changes, the evolution that kind of golf is going through right now. Not that traditional golf should always remain traditional, and but all the new formats and all the new changes that are coming in to make the game a little faster, I think they're all welcome. They're going to make the game a lot more fun, and I can't wait to see how the urban populace as well as all the youngsters end up taking to the game because of these changes. Robin Williams jumping up and down from that bunker on the left side of hole number 10. We can barely see his hat, and let's see if he tips it right after that one.
Well, we can barely see his hand, but we definitely don't want to see his footprints, because with those jumps up and down, there would be quite a few.
The ball certainly come out of there. I'm not quite sure where it's landed up, but we will apprise you shortly.
I have to say, the golf course is absolutely looking spectacular. You look at the visuals from our drone, and it's lush green, and as you were alluding, last week was Kalhar blues and greens. Well, this one has a lot of green, a bit of beige, but certainly less blue. Not as many water bodies as you had at Kalhar.
Take a look now at Michael Hermer. Michael Hermer also seems to have found himself in the same bunker as Robin Williams has here on hole number 10. Bit of a slow start for the two players. It's a tough shot there for Michael, coming in from very close to that left lip. And pin location, of course, today being at that top right corner is going to make this a lot more interesting. I think a prudent approach over here would be to keep it slightly left of the hole, maybe just about 20 feet or so. Seems like he's hit pretty good.
He's out there, eagerly looking at that.
Michael coming in all the way from Germany here to the Delhi NCR region to compete in this HotelPlanner Tour and PGTI Co-Sanctioned event. And there we have Christoph player. 4 under par. He's found himself in the short staff here on the 10th. This is his third shot. Slow start here for Christoph. Not a very long hole. Hole number 10 is a slight dog leg.
It's about 400 yards now, right?
Yes, it's 399 to be precise. But yes, I think 400 would do.
The 1 yard. Haven't we heard golfers over the years talk about that precious 1 yard? That's a nice little pitch, but that leaves him about 12, 15 feet away. Ball not releasing as much as he would have expected. Blame it on the rains. Greens have slowed down a bit, but that certainly looked, Rahul, like he had landed at a good spot and it would have fed down towards the flag.
But I think going to the way we have seen the rains over the last 2 days, I think the greens are playing quite soft, and a bit more aggression on those pitch shots will be prudent for the players. They will have to contend with pitching them pretty close to the hole. Otherwise, you're going to have to contend with the kind of putt that Christoph now has to deal with here for a par. Nearly 20 feet away for a par to stay at 4 under for the tournament.
Rains would have also slowed the greens down a bit, which is the natural thing, because officially I think the green speed today is 9.9. It's sort of like Bata pricing, right? So as things are getting underway, I'm going to welcome my buddy, Shaurya Singh, back in the commentary box to have a quick chit-chat with you folks as well as with Rahul Bajaj.
Take a look now again here coming in from the right side of the green. That's a tough place to have left yourself by Robin Williams. It's going to have an up and down to make over there. Hole number 13, we've got Varun Chopra now. Varun Chopra comes in from United States of America, playing alongside Anshul Kaptial and Bastien Amat from France. Anshul Kaptial from India. Robin Williams coming up from the top right of this green on hole number 10. This is a bit of a treacherous kind of a shot. Going with a bump and run approach is Robin. And comes up nearly about 5 feet short of the hole. That's going to be a tester. Robin Williams from South Africa. Second shot here for Varun Chopra. A brilliant shot here on hole number 13. Pin today on the 13th is in a challenging spot. 31 in and 3 from the right, giving the players no room on the right side of the hole. Back to the 10th hole here.
Thank you, Shivas, for that. And now joining Raul in the commentary box. And this day is coming at you thick and fast. Here we have Michael Hermer on hole number 10. And bringing us the Sunday best almost.
Brilliant shot here by Hermer. That was the best chip attempt that we have seen from the right side of the green so far. Right. Back to the 13th hole. We have Anshul Kaptial coming in from the short stuff.
The youngster, a prodigious ball striker. Anshul Kaptial, really good. Able to really keep that ball down, and I think that's something that would really come in handy.
Cleans up for a par over here on the 10th, and the broomstick putter. Haven't seen one of those for a while. As we take a look back now at Christoph Blair trying to save himself a par here, nearly about 15 odd feet away from the hole. Christoph, who had a top finish last week at the Collard Blues and Greens, playing the Indorama Ventures Open.
I was most impressed, Raul, with Christoph's approach and the way that he played the previous week. And I think having been here in India now for a substantial period of time, I look for him to do well this week. Although he'd have to hit the ground running with the kind of scores that we're seeing.
And drops off to 3 under par. It's also very challenging, you know. Lots of our viewers would not know, but you know, just to understand that the players actually, due to the rains, have finished their second round today by midday, and they got to start their third round today at about 1:45 in the afternoon, which was supposed to be started early this morning. You know, all of these delays, the players have to contend with these kind of things as well. So coming back to the 17th hole.
Yes, definitely a factor here as we have a look at hole number 17. The par 3 measures about 198 yards downhill. Narrow sliver of a green. Will require a good strike here to get close.
17th, a tough par 3 here on this golf course. Currently pin is at 15 in from the front and 4 from the left. A brilliant shot here. Going back to Robin Williams. And Robin knocks that one in beautifully. What a brilliant par save over here by Robin to start his day. And there we've got some antics going on by the player. A few moves being done in their pre-shot to maintain the technique that they want to employ on the golf shots.
Reminds me a little bit of Alex Noren. You're trying to get that body really into the shot.
Absolutely, and I saw you also there, you know, doing some body English yourself, trying to emulate that. Julian Brunn, 3 under par currently.
Julian Brunn playing alongside Julian Sale and Mohammad Azhar. two Julians and Mohammad Azhar on hole number 17. I'd say this pin position is quite a difficult one. Hardly any space here, Rahul. You see that that high shoulder on the front.
Back to Kaptial on the 13th. Kaptial comes up just short for that birdie. He should be able to knock that one in just about 2 feet short of the hole. The action's all getting heated up here at the Classic Golf and Country Club. Take a look here. A beautiful putt from about 15 feet away on the 13th. Playing alongside Varun Chopra. Varun with that beautiful second shot off the fairway, has just about 10 feet left here for a birdie.
The greens this week, I would think from what I've heard the players say, it's probably one of the only line of defense this week. Varun Chopra now on hole number 13. Very interesting here, hole number 13. The drive is really important, and it's imperative that you're able to work it left to right here. There's a bunker that you need to carry at about 277 odd yards, which I think now for these players, how the game has changed is almost a no factor, I'd say. Raul, what do you think now with the produced distances that everybody hits it?
I think any of these players can airmail that, so to speak. I don't think most of these players would be even looking at that 277 number and probably flipping wedges in. I think you and I would be probably hitting 9 irons into this flag location, maybe even 8s.
Exactly, but not working out for Varun Chopra. As I was alluding to earlier, this week the greens have been a little difficult for the players to sort of contend with.
On to the 17th. Back to the group with Mohammad Azhar in it. We've got the two Julians there, Julian Sale.
Hole number 17. This is a rather interesting shot here from the upslope. We'll have the ability of utilizing the slope of the green. What are your thoughts, Rahul? This chip shot that he faces is from the upslope. The lie, luckily for him, is good enough, but it's going to be something where he really have to determine a spot and stick to it.
You know,
it's going to be slippery going down.
You know, it does seem like he's on the wall of that bunker and probably had it plugged in the wall earlier, and he's taken a relief for that. This is going to be a really tough shot for Julian, because this is going to be coming up really high off the face and going up all the way up in the air. It's going to be tough to understand how it is going to really release up onto that hole. There is a lot of downslope after he carries about 10 yards from where he is right now.
Also have a look at how gingerly he's standing. You can see, have a look at that left knee, and let's see if he's been able to judge that to perfection. And that's really good, all things considered.
A terrific shot here by Brun. He's been able to give himself a very realistic par opportunity over here, and certainly made that tough shot look like a piece of toast. Mohammad Azhar left with that little tiddler of a par putt on the 17th, the par 3. Par 3 here is 198 yards off the back tees and placed a little bit downhill, about 5 or 6 yards downhill. And tough shot because the first part of the green actually plays a complete downhill. So, coming up with a 6-iron or a 7-iron off that tee to be able to stop that ball, especially for pin locations with a 15 or less, is quite tough on this hole. Julian Sale now coming in for a birdie, currently at 6 under par for the tournament.
Expect his ball to break a little bit from the right, especially in the starting, and then probably snake the other way.
It seems like he's trying to start that ball off a little bit towards the right. Unfortunately, I was completely off with that one, and it's come up from the left, and Julian Sale comes up just a teeny weeny bit short off the hole here for a birdie, and should tap that in, make a par.
Also employing the aim point there. Seen that probably for the first time this week.
Well, it's been quite a commonality these days on the professional tours, as well as all different types of golfing that we see on the competitive level. In fact, me and Shivas just a few moments ago were speaking about the aim point method, and it is something that has gained a lot of popularity, as well as anything that goes with popularity also tends to become quite controversial. And that's what me and Shivas were having a chat about just a few moments ago, how some of the people say that it makes the game slower, and some of the people from the other faction actually say that it puts some method to the madness and actually makes the game a lot faster. And Julian run there with a superb par here on the 17th. What a brilliant up and down from the wall of that bunker. Mohammad Azhar, of course, had just a tiddler remaining for him.
Mohammad Azhar cleaning up there on hole number 17. Interesting par 3 here, downhill with that green, which can turn out to be precarious at points.
That shot really showcases what brilliant conditions we have this week here at the ITC Classic Grand Bharat. Back to the 13th hole, Julian Kesney at 3 under par. And coming up with a brilliant approach shot over here, just under 15 feet for a birdie. The 17th hole now. The 13th hole again, we've got Julian Kesney, Jamie Rutherford, and Arjun. My apologies. This is the group of Arjun Sharma, and Jacopo Vecchi Fossa, and Jonathan Ramussen.
Arjun Sharma, somebody that I ran into in the morning, says that game is coming along really well, but does realize that in order to mount a challenge for the tournament, you probably have to shoot double digits under par at the least, I'd say.
Well, certainly something that we have already seen thanks to Duffy is very much possible. And we've also seen players in the past, Chap Chainira, Tanirban Lahiri, coming in over here and shooting 10 under par rounds. We've seen that. And of course, Duffy making that course record of 11 under par. Certainly, if Arjun Sharma could come up with a score like that, he could very well catapult himself right on top of that leaderboard. Coming up for a birdie now on the 13th. All the way uphill to the hole. This ball should not have too much of a break, but speed is going to be key. And Arjun, brilliant attempt over here, just under 3 feet for a par.
Yeah, that would have looked good. I thought that would break a little more to the left, and but right about in the end, just missing the hole.
A positive, assertive. That's what I saw out of that putt, Shaurya. Those were my two takeaways from Arjun's putt. A birdie putt here for the third player in the group.
This putt, maybe all of 12 feet.
Putting for birdie here from about 15 feet away. Just about tugged that. I think a teeny weeny bit. He knew it as soon as that ball came off that putter face. And, settle with the par here on the 13th.
So Saptak has made a move on the leaderboard. He's at 11 under par now, finds himself only 2 behind the leaders, who finished 1 hole with Rashid and MJ Duffy, which apparently is the American pronunciation of his name. As we have a look at Arjun with what appears to be a comfortable par putt. He's wearing the famous Sunday red color. So black and red. Let's see if he can get some red numbers.
Day too early. Nonetheless, Sunday red it is for him. We'll take a look now at Angachima's group. Group of Angachimas.
Angachima in playing alongside the very experienced Duffy of Pukkonen, who's played a lot on the DP World Tour as well, and Victor Borlo. And it's going to be quite the group, this one.
Angachima coming up from that front right bunker here on the 17th hole, and a brilliant bunker shot here. He's judged that one in beautifully, but left that one right off the hole. Just a little more in line with the hole would have actually led that up nearly given, if not in.
I want to ask you a question on hole number 17. We see a few players on the front right, and obviously those are the players who are trying to get it closer to the flag, just pitch it off on the front third of the green. But would it be more prudent to fly it a little further on, pitch it in the center, and then use the backstop and maybe just roll it around a little behind?
You know, Shaurya, your experience of playing golf is really coming to showcase the prowess over here, and you couldn't have said it better. Absolutely, you have to take that slope out of play. You cannot try to pitch that ball on the slope. You cannot judge. Your ball might stay on the slope, your ball might bounce off and go way forward, and if you leave it just a yard or two short, and you could be chipping it up there, leaving yourself up with yet another tough shot. And let's take a look now here at the birdie putt for Tapio Pukkonen.
But fairly makeable here for Tapio for 12 feet. Just need to get it up there, and I think he has, and another one goes whizzing by. And that's what we've heard from the players this week. It's been a little difficult to decipher the lines.
Tapio, a Finnish golfer, has a peculiar hat that he likes to wear. Victor Borlo now. Victor also putting for a birdie over here. He's just about holding the edge of the green.
This is the putt for Victor.
Will he be a victor with this putt? Yet to be seen.
Yeah, we've seen, not quite certain, we've seen a putt go in on this hole. Maybe now is the time.
I've got some, there's like a break right in front of the hole over there.
I'm a little surprised that that stayed up. Greens are rolling well.
We also saw Julian just a few moments earlier and hit a brilliant putt from past the hole, and again got some breaks on it Angachima putting for a par over here.
I think all things considered, that was a pretty good bunker shot. You get yourself in that bunker, it's probably one of the places you don't want to be missing it. Difficult shot, so he's done very well to get up till here. Maybe he can be the one who will maybe crack the Rubik's Cube, which is the 17th green.
Chima currently 5 under par for the tournament.
This putt would break from his left. I think, yeah, that speed would not be a factor. It will get all the way up till there either ways.
It's a bit of a curler, this putt. Should break more than about a grip from the left. A brilliant putt here by Angachima, saving a par here on the 17th, stays at 5 under par to move into the 18th hole. His 9th hole of the third round. Penultimate round, this third round, as it's called. It's a moving day here for the professional golfers after the cut line was applied at 4 under par. Players looking to go deep today, as deep as they possibly can, when we've seen Duffy already showing the way that 11 under par is possible. Is there someone in this field who can shoot a 12 under par today or tomorrow? As I now welcome back my co-commentator, Shivas Nath, back into the commentary box.
I think that score might be possible. Not quite out of the realm of possibilities. We've the two people on top of the leaderboard. They of course have a penchant for shooting low numbers. MG Duffy, Rashid Khan, and Saptak Talwar as well, who won the previous week. You can also see on the leaderboard Maxence Giboudo, who played the previous week, and I think is richer for the experience, and that is at 10 under par currently. 3 behind the leaders, although it's still early days.
Thank you, Rahul. It's good to be back. And while you boys have been busy keeping our viewers entertained and engaged, I have kept myself busy walking around the course, catching up a bit on what's happening with the players. Nothing like a good walk out there on the course to see how the course is playing, how the greens are receiving the golf balls, what the mood and the energy of the players are. And, things seem to have warmed up figuratively. That's the 13th hole, the 429-yard par 4. A missed putt there. Good read, though, but nonetheless, he just seems to have slipped that one by. And the sun is out, nice and bright. It's 4 p.m. here. We are 1 hour into our live telecast here from the Classic Golf Resort, a Jack Nicklaus signature design. And the course getting a lot of kind words from the players and the caddies.
Now on hole number 13, which plays to 429 yards, we have this putt which should break a little from left to right for Lorenzo, who's at...
Scalisi, is that how we pronounce his family name? Scalisi?
Yes, definitely how you pronounce it. And he's at 7 under par. So this would take him to 8 under par, only 5 shy of the lead. And I think he has got it.
That is unfortunate, Shaurya. Your read was absolutely bang on. It was a very good read. And, I suspect it's just the fact that, the greens have slowed down a touch, because we've had a morning session and again an evening session. So what these players have experienced in the morning session, certainly the greens have grown a bit of a stubble for the afternoon session. Couple of feet. Ronan Klew to clean up for his par. No mistake there. Very confident. Knocked it in.
We also have an update that Maxence...
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कर आता है, आगे आगे बढ़ अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है. मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है. जिद है जिद क्या बावाली जिद है जिद क्या बावाली जिद है जिद क्या बावाली जिद.
Too cheaply. I think it'll have to be a lot more, but
After we complete our due duties for the day.
yeah, I think all things considered, that's really good for him to have started this way.
And suddenly I'm appreciating Vivek's own. They're out of control there. David here? जो था सही था. Here, Shaurya. Green pin, of course, in the center, but tucked away again, maybe about 6 or 7 yards. Also, a word about some of our Indian boys. Rashid, of course, having completed a couple of holes, cruising along at even par, still tied for the lead at 13 under. Subhash making a bit of a jump, 1 under after 2 for the day, and of course in minus 12, which is a shot behind. Young Karthik Singh continuing to impress, 2 under for the day, and having also moved up to 10 under. And that's that's pretty impressive. You have Yuvraj Sandhu, our last year's Order of Merit winner and our number 1. He's at par as well for the day, still at 8 under for the tournament. And the wily old Om Prakash Chauhan, again par for the day after 6 holes. So definitely we see that in the afternoon session today, the scoring isn't as low as it was in the first 2 rounds. No surprise, because with the sun having come out, the fairways are running a bit firmer. The greens are also a shade firmer, and of course in the afternoon session it seems to be a bit slower as well. Impress, solid 6 under round yesterday. He's 1 over after 6 for the day today. Terrific young player. soft conditions and the high quality feel that we have this week.
Yeah, I think whenever you give players this quality, softer conditions, and this golf course is not too penal, as we know. There's not much in terms of out of bounds, water that's actually into place. It's almost like a game of darts for them, and they're able to freewheel, and that's why we've seen this. As you have a look at Christopher Ram on hole number 13 with this rather long birdie attempt, which little short.
It slowed up a bit abruptly, at least that's what it looked like on screen, right?
Yeah, a little slow right towards the end. It does sort of break a little more than expected as well.
There we have Shamim lining up for his birdie. Very fluid stroke. And has he done enough?
Comprises of Christopher Ram, Shamim Khan, and Subhash Thamang. We had a look at Christopher's putt. Now we have Subhash here.
Yeah, Subhash is, very strong youngster. Clearly works very hard on his business and he hit it a country for him. He's very, very solid.
If you look at the modern golfers now, I think that is a prerequisite. Hit it far, then think about anything else. That does seem to be the mantra now. This is a brave new age of professional golf, and I think the Indian players are also catching up really well.
Absolutely. I recall just a couple of days ago at the live event in
Mathis Bessard, 9 under par. Albert Bonetta, who was also there the previous week. Now his second week here in India. This is young Anshul Kaptial, a stellar ball striker.
He's an outstanding young player, isn't he? He's a stellar ball striker, great hands, hardworking, fit and athletic, as we were just inferring. Reference the Bryson DeChambeau interview. The Indian golfers certainly, coming of age and putting in the hard yards.
Now Bastian Amat is playing alongside Anshul Kaptial, and these golfers, this is a par 4, and they're right there adjacent to the green, and this is going to be really good. Really nice shot from there under the green. This hole plays at almost about 350, 360 yards, 369 to be exact, but they've made short work of it. They're right there on the front edge, so it shows you that distance is, of course, the order of the day.
No, and great hands there because he really flipped that up high and soft. So definitely, again, good interesting pin position. Just 6 from the front and 5 from the left.
So, coming back to my point, there's not much in terms of defense if you're looking at a hole like this. It's 370, and for these guys on the HotelPlanner tour, I would think the average caddy is going to be somewhere about 295 yards off the tee. pretty similar to what we have on the DP World Tour. So you talk about players who can hit that far, and this green here, no trouble on either side. So you can actually just freewheel and put your pedal to the metal. And that's what a lot of them are doing at this point in time. And I think some of the holes, like hole number 11, is going to be a challenge. The par 3 that is quite difficult. I think that's one of the places where this golf course can bear its fangs. Now, Anshul Kaptial um, would have about this 10-footer in order to convert.
No, and there you are. You can see on our screen, Shaurya, the folks on the tee, they're actually waiting. So these guys have actually had a go at the green, and I would like to believe that those two little flip shots that we saw were probably their little second shots.
Exactly. So this is, you don't quite see this. I've never seen it in any other tournament previously here at this golf club, that you're actually waiting on this hole, which is 370 yards. And yeah, that's what it tells you. It's a brave new world that you have to wait on a par 4 for the next group.
The new world order. Drivable par 4s that are in excess of 350 yards.
Also, the wind is aiding that as well. The wind is from the player's back, right downwind. So that does make it a lot easier because it is downhill from about 300 yards on. So if you can fly the ball 300, you're going to be able to bound it and ricochet it all the way up to the green. You know, I won't be surprised if their players were actually on the dance floor.
Well, we've got our cameramen out there. They have the memo.
Certain that he'd be ruining that mess. You can see that he's none too pleased after that miss.
Understandably so, because being a short par 4, they would certainly like to gain a stroke here, particularly with a little flip-in chip and a putt thereafter.
Here at hole number 17, back to the par 3. This is
I'm
a
very
group
intrigued
of,
with this pin position here, Shaurya.
this is a group of Veer Lawat, Kushal Singh and Alexander Knapp.
Alexander Knapp from Germany. Kushal Singh's had a very good last season, Shaurya, and certainly promising to be a good season ahead for him. A very hard-working young man. Did some serious damage for his team as well at the 72 the league, where I believe you were working very closely mentoring a team. And you know, Kushal certainly turning out to be a very, very special talent.
Yeah, he's improved over the last year and a half. I happened to run into him today and his father, and the two of them have really put in the work. And more so Kushal, he says that you know, he gave up the game almost 4 years ago for a bit and joined his father in business. And what he said that, you know, the time away from the game has given him a new appreciation and love for this great game, and that has helped him to sort of be resurgent once again. And you can see the proof of the pudding lies in the eating.
No, he's misread that. Oh, not given. It's amazing. We're seeing a lot of the players, sure, are leaving it a little bit short, giving the greens a little more respect in terms of speed. Some of them are just short, dead on line, or in some cases they seem to be dropping off or breaking a little early because they run out of speed. And Veer, of course, now doing his bit.
We've seen the players on this green struggle a little with the speed, not able to get the ball all the way up till the hole. Now Not quite certain why that is the case, but that is what we've ascertained thus far. From the angle where Veer is coming from, it's been a lot more easier to drain putts. It is downhill and a little quick from there. This one, we already saw Angad Chima make a par putt from this exact same line. Leave it about 6 inches on the left-hand side, and then gravity does the rest.
Well, this is a big putt for Veer. A birdie here would take him to 3 under for the day and 9 under for the tournament, and leapfrogging him up 8 spots to tie 22nd. That looks like a good language stroke, and again, as you said, Shaurya, he's left it short, just not given it enough. This just seems to be the story on most greens for the day. And I don't really think it's tentative putting from any of the players. It's just the simple fact that they're misreading the speed completely. Alexander Knapp. A birdie putt from the German.
Yeah, this putt should break to his left right at the end. Very minuscule break, if any.
Needs to put a good stroke on this. Has he given it enough? Absolutely. But he has missed it on the high side. He expected more turn.
Now Kushal Singh will clean up for his putt. Should be able to make that without much difficulty. And on top of the leaderboard, we still have MJ Duffy, the South African, at 13 under par. While we go back to hole number 15, Arjun Sharma. Oh, that was some short game magic right there.
Well, that's the fun hole, or as we used to have, we call it the party hole. No mistake there. Well done. So the 15th hole, of course, allowing all the boys to give it a big heave-ho.
Now I'd like to call into the commentary booth Rahul Bajaj.
Very interesting here. Deploying the reverse grip on his chipping. Jonathan got Rasmussen, something that was made very popular by former US Open champion Matthew Fitzpatrick. Some use it as a drill, and some also use it in tournament play. And Jonathan certainly, very interesting, reverse-handed chipping style. It's going to be an interesting little bump and run. Seemed to have hit it a shade behind and caught a little more grass and a little more turf between club head and ball. Interestingly, he's also carrying his own bag. He's not employed one of our local caddies this week. And that's also something that a lot of players are quite comfortable, particularly those that have grown up playing a lot of junior golf or coming out of the collegiate system where they've carried their own bags and they take complete responsibility for their own choice of club selection and reading their lines and making their decision. But of course, you know, sometimes that just works very well when you do not have a familiar caddy or a trusted caddy and you'd rather just do your own thing. It's good to have Rahul Bajaj back in the commentary box. And, you know, with the amount of work that Rahul does with young junior developing golfers and young golfers, it'd be interesting to know what his take is on young players carrying their own bag in tournament play.
Well, thanks, Shivas. You've really got me hitting the road running right now. And and thanks for that question. Yes, I do appreciate players picking up their own bags and playing. I think it is a huge, you know, it's a huge learning experience for the junior golfers. And having said that, you know, the tours like the HotelPlanner tour, and there are other tours in the world, especially in the European region as well as in the United States, where players even on sort of somewhat the feeder tours or the mini tours of the professional world have to actually pick up their golf bags and play just because of non-availability of caddies. And I think it goes a long way. Players would learn a lot by doing so. And they become self-reliant. They become very independent as to how they want to go about things. And here we've got Arjun Sharma putting for a birdie, currently at 5 under par. And 5 under par gets the players to a tie for the 35th position as of right now. And of course, it's early days. You've got 1.5 rounds to go, and unfortunately, that wouldn't find the bottom of the cup. And Arjun Sharma to remain at 5 under par. Sharma, who's playing alongside Jacopo Vecchi Fossa from Italy, as well as Jonathan Rasmussen.
Well, it's a good stroke. Job well done. As we were talking, Rahul, this par 4, very much a drivable one. You see, when with the camera work and the visuals, every time the guys are putting, there's another group waiting behind on the tee, and all of them are giving it an absolute heave-ho.
We've got those drone shots of the beautiful IDC Classic Grand Bharat. What a beautiful location this is, Shivas, surrounded by all the Aravali hills over there, and what a scintillating view this is. And to top it all, the weather has been so nice, and we've got actually a clear sky over here in the Delhi NCR region to be able to take soak all of this in. And the lush greens, of course, a sight for sore eyes.
No, indeed, it's an absolutely visual treat. Great, great conditions, great agronomy. Absolutely love the way the dark and the lighter greens, the way the fairways have been cut. Absolutely wonderful, and the backdrop, indeed. A beautiful Aravali driving range. This is really a wonderful golf course, Rahul, and probably unknown to many of our viewers. It's actually a 27-hole track. 18 championship holes, and there's another 9, which is again a very, very good solid 9 holes. An excellent property. Terrific hotel and hospitality here by the ITC group as well, and definitely a great getaway for some weekend golf or holiday golf as well. One of the hidden gems on the Indian golf rota for sure.
Back here on the par 3 17th hole, we've got the group with Arjun Prasad playing alongside Julian Kesney. Julian Kesney comes in all the way from France, age of 45 years, and has had 2 professional victories to his name. Currently putting for a birdie here on the par 3 17th, which is playing today to nearly about 205 yards to this flag location. 2-time DP World Tour winner. A brilliant putt that unfortunately just shaves the corner of the hole and would be left with a little tap in.
Rahul, we've seen a lot of them misreading this particular putt. Not this exactly this particular area from where he putted, but on this particular hole, this particular pin position, the guys are either giving it too much respect in terms of speed or line. We haven't seen anyone make anything so far.
Well, I think there are a couple of things over here, though, Shivas, as I've noted so far. One, the ball does break quite a bit from the left to the right. And having said that, the second thing is there is a little bit of a break there closer to the hole because the uphill just about begins there. So, that kind of can play like a little bit of a test for the players because you've got to be firm enough, but you can't be too firm as well. Birdie putt here for Jamie Rutherford.
And his has broken away, and he's knocked it past. Well, of course, not too far past. It's just about 1.5 feet. But yet another one to who's going to walk away probably with a par.
Jamie Rutherford turned pro in 2013. 1 professional victory to his name. Turned professional at the age of 21. Been playing the professional tours for the last 12 years.
It's Very interesting and very intriguing. There's so many of the professionals who spend their lives, plying their trade, and the day planner, the tour, of course, doing its bit as the feeder tour in a sense to the DP World European Tour.
Arjun Prasad putting for birdie over here on the 17th. Let's see. Can Arjun take him up to 6 under par now to go to a tie for 30th position? He'll jump 5 spots straight away with this putt. Look for this putt to break from the left to the right. We saw Angachima make a par putt from a similar location earlier, and Arjun Prasad coming up just on the low side of the hole. Shivas, I think you've got the commentator's curse going on at this
There's
moment.
something about the 17th. Well, we would love for all the players to be making these putts, but I've been sitting here for the last hour or so and thereabouts, and I just haven't seen anyone make anything. Not leave themselves anything, but just not get it right.
Well, talking about no one making anything, we are here on the 18th hole, the par 5 now.
A terrific one, isn't it? 580 yards, and it's majestic with that backdrop of the hotel behind the 18th green.
Absolutely, a brilliant hole. There's a dog leg towards the left, a big carry to that fairway bunker that you can see over there, nearly 300 odd yards or so. Kushal Singh taking on his second shot with what seems like a fairway wood in his hand.
And dare I say, Rahul, from the drone shot that we have, which is a beautiful one, the fairway doesn't really seem to be very wide. For a 580-yard hole, this is a fairly narrow fairway from where they're going to be hitting their second shots in. As he's staring it down.
Kushal Singh, who's playing alongside Alexander Knapp from Germany, and Veer Lawat. At this moment, Kushal Singh is at even par for the day and 4 under par for the tournament, leaving himself just on the short side of the green over here, and should have a very realistic opportunity to make an up and down over here. Pin is 31 in from the front and 4 from the right, so he's got enough room to work with as we take a look here now. Back here to the 13th hole.
Not quite enough in terms of speed or line. Putting from the fringe. We have it. This is the new normal, the putting routine.
New normal. Shivas.
That's also very interesting with the kind of putters that we actually see. It's not just the putting routine, but you've got some of these putters that are center shafted, zero torque, face balanced, counterbalanced.
Yeah, lots of things that we see, Shivas. In fact, I was having a conversation with someone yesterday about the number of fads that the sport of golf actually comes in with. And in fact, in putting, we have seen that over the last couple of years, there has been so many innovations that have come in. But this one right here on our screens is the one which really seems to be, sticking around. It's been a while now.
It's been a while. And
lie angle balanced putters. And unfortunately, that ball couldn't quite find its balance at the bottom of the cup. It was a good putt, though.
it is
Assertive.
It is a good putt indeed. My personal experience, and I've been using one of these zero torque putters as well now for about 2.5 years, is that it is certainly helpful, and especially so even on certain mishit or misread putts, because it doesn't deviate that much offline, and also is a little bit more forgiving in terms of getting, leaving yourself a slightly shorter second putt on a longish first putt. But there again, some people find them outlandish, and be it as it may, each one makes their own choice.
Certainly, look, this ball should break a little bit from the left to the right. Certainly a little bit more of a traditional style of a putter, it seems.
Looks like good stroke. Oh, just snuck it in. Got the left edge. Well, I'm glad he made that.
Shivas, we've seen over time that the heel-toe balanced putters, the old school heel-toe balanced has of course worked very well over the years. And of course, that was David Horsey from England cleaning up, and he's playing alongside Martin Eriksson.
Oh, David Horsey himself has been a European Tour veteran for several years, well over a decade. A known name on the European golf circles. No mistake there. Well done. Knocks it in for par.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है
मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद क्या पावाली जिद
12 under par for the tournament, just 2 shots away from Duffy. And Adam Wallen is also at 2 under par, moving himself to 13 under to tie alongside Khan.
And of course, speaking of our tour partners, a word as well about Axis Bank, who's recently come on board. A big shout out to the Axis Bank team. Thank you for your support to professional golf in India and the PGTI. It is deeply appreciated.
Well, there we have Charlie Foster coming up here, sticking it up for a birdie. Playing hole number 13, Charlie Foster playing alongside India's Shaurya Bhattacharya.
Shaurya Bhattacharya himself, a terrific young man, very hard-working, and someone who is. I would fully expect him to do very well, not just on the Indian tour, but moving on towards the international tours as he matures and grows his game. That kid has a bright future. Very hard-working young boy. Very humble too, actually, if I may add. Rahul, guys like yourself and myself and Shaurya have been around in the game so long, and it's so nice to see and so heartwarming sometimes to see some of the young professionals who we've all known or seen when they were not even 10 years old, and as young kids, young juniors, we've known their parents, and to see them just develop, not just as athletes and professionals, but even as young adults. It's just such a lovely journey, isn't it?
And certainly, Kushal Singh now putting for an eagle here on the par 5 18th hole. 4 under par for the tournament is Kushal.
Yes, we saw him staring down his second shot, and kudos to him. 580 yards, 2 solid blows to get it right at the back of the green where the flag is cut.
2 solid blows is what it takes, and a third one coming up. Just a wee bit short for him.
Not
Should
quite
be
as solid as the first two. He just left something out there, right?
Certainly.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that one.
Might have lost out on some juice with those 2 big shots. And Veer Alawat, a big shot hitter himself.
He's a tall lad. He's what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Veer, I'm not sure if he's 6'4" or 6'5". It should be a 6'2" for sure.
No, he's certainly taller. This birdie putt, he's certainly 6'3" or 6'4". Long, lanky legs. That makes his birdie. The birdie dance. The motif was there, the icon was there. Another birdie opportunity coming up here. He's got his hands around the bill of his cap. As you can see from the caddy, he's putting into the sun, the shadow. And Charlie Forster, 10 under par, 10th hole. Flag at the back. And he's just missed it by a whisker. Just quite not giving it up, giving out enough in terms of line and speed. He will be disappointed with that. That's said and done. The afternoon session today, not giving up as many birdies as we saw in this latter half of yesterday and this morning. So course definitely showing a bit of teeth now as the weather kind of returns back to normalcy. Young Kushal here for his birdie. This will be a very well-deserved birdie.
Should break a little bit from his left to the right here, Shivas. So he's probably a left inside kind of a putt for Kushal Singh. Kushal Singh, who's found some sort of a golfing form over the past year or so. Unfortunately, just did not break, or did he yank that one?
Just seemed to be a bit of a rushed stroke.
There you go, two big shots, and like they say, you can cover 600 yards in two big shots, but putting that ball in from about 20 feet away can be another challenge altogether.
Indeed, Rahul, and he certainly seems disappointed, and I would say rightfully so.
It's a funny game, this.
And that was definitely a shot given back to the field.
As we take a look now at the leaderboard there, MJ Duffy, my bad there, currently at 14 under par, leads the way over Adam Wallen, who is 13 under par, right alongside India's Rashid Khan. Lucas Nemec, currently at 12 under par, tied alongside India's Saptak Talwar. Albert Bonetta, 11 under par. As also we've got Maxence Gibot, who has made an ace today, moved to 10 under par for the tournament. We also have Karthik Singh, the young Karthik Singh, currently at 10 under par for the tournament. Strong start here for the young Karthik Singh, all of 15 years of age. And also Pratish Karayat. So we've got Jared Hack, a man who's broken onto the PGTI with a bang. Near misses there on that screen of ours, just to make all of us feel pretty good. We have all lip and no hole kind of putt. Varun Chopra from the United States of America. Chopra currently at 1 under par for the day. 5 under par for the tournament. Rolls are one in beautifully. A little bit of a fist bump there for him. Should move to 6 under par after the 17th hole, his 8th hole for the day.
It's really good to see, a lot of Indian boys as well who've been playing overseas. Varun Chopra, Saptak Talwar, Shubham Jaglan, coming back to India and participating on the PGTI. And we also see year on year the international contingent and participation growing, Rahul.
On the 15th now, we are back to Subhash Tamang, who's just off the green over here. Shamim Khan chips it up and into the hole there. Shamim Khan with a brilliant birdie chip in there from the left side off the green on the 15th hole. Shamim Khan, who's chipped it in here on the 15th. A short par 4, 6 in from the front and 5 from the left. This flag location is a pretty tough one, ladies and gentlemen, mind you. Not very long hole, but a tough flag location to get to.
And of course, Shamim probably, had a longer shot coming in as the second shot, because he certainly doesn't have the length of the tee as some of the younger players that he's playing with, which are Ram and Tamang. Well, as you can see, the wind slowly getting up. It's expected to get up to about 26 kilometers per hour later today. So that probably contributing a little bit towards the higher scores today as well.
Absolutely, the wind does play a factor here at the ITC, and also, Shivas, I was discussing earlier with Shaurya that one of the things that I think we don't quite see as viewers is the fact that the players have been out here since early this morning, since about 6 o'clock or so, and they didn't get their round started. Their second round wasn't finished yet, so they started their second round at about 10:30 in the morning, and then their third round actually started at about 1:45 in the afternoon. So all of that time that they spend over here, the body and the mind both are getting tired. And having said that, the players left from here only at about 7 p.m. last night. So coming back at 6 a.m. Back to tee off, that I think the kind of respect that sort of deserves, I think, is quite something that we don't understand as viewers as much.
No, I'm glad you pointed that out, Rahul, because you're absolutely right. This is something that is part of an athlete's life, and
I think whenever the partnership comes, you always feel very happy about that because new partner, new things. It's a relationship which I feel is most important between two batsmen, wicket keeper. So I think PGTI is going on the right direction. I feel it's very, very important to have a access bank on the bank of such a great name who's growing every day, and PGTI growing in the same manner. So I, as a part of PGTI, I feel very proud and very happy we have a new partner.
well, here we are, back at the live action, and the flag keeps fluttering, and the wind, I think, getting firmer and stronger. Subhash Tamang on screen, and as Rahul takes it forward, I'm going to ask my buddy and yours, Shaurya Singh, to join us in the commentary box. Come on, young Shaurya.
Subhash Tamang cleaning up there on the 15th hole beautifully. No trouble there for Nepal's Subhash Tamang. As we now take a look at Christopher Ram. Christopher is putting for birdie over here on the short par for 15th hole. He's got nearly about 6 feet for a birdie. Going with what seems like a counterbalanced putter. Christopher Ram from Sweden, and rolls that one in beautifully. Sorry, not 6 feet. That seems like the only thing that's 6 feet or plus over there is his height, and that putt was nothing more than 3 feet. So we get back onto the 18th hole now. We look at the group of Arjun Prasad, Julian Kesney, and Jamie Rutherford.
Thank you, Shivas, for that. Getting back to the action. Arjun here. Moving day, as it's colloquially called, the penultimate day. Here at the DP World PGTI Open 2026. Co-sanctioned event between the DP World PGTI and HotelPlanner Tour. Leading the tournament currently is MJ Duffy. A very difficult name to pronounce. This is the American pronunciation, I believe. He's having spent a lot of time there in the States. And incidentally, he also led the US Open at one point in time after having Monday qualified, and has played 60 events on the US PGA Tour and earned over $1 million. So very experienced, and you can see that experience come to the fore.
Shaurya, you're really like a Pandora's box, aren't you? You just have to open you up, and off you go. All the information, all the trivia just racing through.
Well, we have to bring our audience the best, and I try to learn from you, if I may add.
Birdie putt here for Arjun Prasad, coming up from just the back of the green. It's a long attempt.
My apologies. In all my years that I've been here, I've not quite seen the flag here, right at the back, right with barely any breathing space.
Tough flag locations today, Shaurya. You've got a lot of pins at 3 right and 4 left and so on and so forth. And, all these cornered flag locations are tough ones to get to. But mind you, these are some of the best players in the country and in the world, and they can get close to any flag location possible. Arjun Prasad with a lovely birdie attempt over there. Assertive putt. We'll have to settle for a par.
Arjun is playing alongside Julian Quesney and Jamie Rutherford. Hole number 18, reachable par 5. A lot of the players a long iron in. For a medium hitter, maybe a 3-wood. Turns from right to left. There's a bunker which is at about a 320 carry. If you can get that done, then you can have a shorter club. That's only for the longest hitters. That ball veers off a little to the right. Now this break a little from the right for Julian. Maybe all of 11 feet or so.
Julian, who comes in from France, age of 45, has already had 2 wins on the DP World Tour, the Open de Andalusia Costa del Sol in 2012 and the 70-degree Open de Italia Lint the following year in 2013. Putting for a birdie here, moved to 5 under par for the tournament. Julian Quesney missing it on the high side of the hole. No points for that. He has also won twice on the Challenge Tour, which is now the HotelPlanner Tour, and also has had 2 European titles to his name.
Back to hole number 17. And that's probably the first time we've seen a putt go in from there. This should not be much of an issue here. Maybe a 1.5 foot here on the par 3. Let's just have a look at some of the scores here on the moving day. The best so far, one of the best is Yurav Primlal at 4 under par today. So he would move to 13 under par. Then you also have Charlie Foster, 4 under par today. Tapio, showing us some of that famous form that he's known for, 4 under today. You also have Lorenzo Scalise, the Italian, at 4 under for the day. But all in all, I think the wind is a factor today. You can feel it buffeting here in the commentary box, and of course it is causing a few troubles to the players as well.
There was Angachima's par putt here on the 17th hole. And Subhash Tamang coming in all the way from Nepal, plays primarily on the Professional Golf Tour of India. And there we have another firm putt. Varun Chopra pulls that one in beautifully. And the one that we just took a look at. Well, after those near misses highlights that you saw, we had to show you the birdies as well. And it's not all roses and it's not all thorns. Robin Williams coming up from just off the green here, using the flat stick. Robin Williams from South Africa.
5 under par. Still early days. You have a lot of golf to be played. And that bobbled a little bit from off the green roll. Players really making short work here off hole number 15. He's playing with the wind at its back. A lot of these players getting here right up to the fringe. Michael Hermer.
We're using a broomstick putter. One of the few left, I think, in the world now.
The German with this putt here.
It's been quite a German thing, isn't it, to use a broomstick putter? Bernhard Langer has used a broomstick putter for almost all of his career, I think.
Yeah, that time the broomstick came up a little short here for Hermer on hole at number 15.
Well, that was a pun, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. But I think you see a lot of German players. I'm not quite sure if Martin Keimer, I think he switched as well.
Have you ever seen a short broomstick?
A short broomstick. I think that doesn't quite add up, my friend.
You just said so. That's lovely there. And Martin Keimer, I think, though, never used a broomstick putter. He used a conventional one. But Bernhard Langer, I think, throughout his career, did use a broomstick putter. I think he still uses one, plays now on the Champions Tour, and does fantastically well over there. Robin Williams.
The Austrian there who finished second previous week. Brilliant player. Christoph Blair. Not having the best of days today. Not able to replicate that form that we saw the previous week. Still in red numbers, but would be looking to make a lot of birdies from here on in. There's a lot of traffic towards the lower end of the leaderboard, and you need to be able to separate yourself.
Blair definitely needs to pick up some shots on the course, and he does. Back to 4 under par for the tournament.
A birdie never hurts, so he would move to 4 under par.
Dropped a shot early on in the day. We saw him struggling on hole number 10 when he started, but picks up that shot back again from the course.
Our leaders, though, are stuck in neutral gear right now. They're even par after 5, which is a little bit of a surprise. I thought they'd been red numbers thus far. Hole number 3 and 4, they are realistic birdie opportunities, even one for a certain, to a certain extent.
Certainly, Shaurya, and now we've got that leaderboard right here on the screens. Rashid Khan from India leading the way alongside MJ Duffy at 13 under par. Lucas Nemec at 12 under alongside Adam Wallen and Saptak Talwar. And we also have Yura Premlal, who is coming in from South Africa at 11 under par. And Mathis Bessard at 11 under par alongside Albert Boneda. We've got just outside of the top 10 is youngster Karthik Singh and Aaron Zema. We've got a lot of players on 9 under par. A lot of names which I perhaps can't even pronounce. And 8 under par rounds up the top 20 for the tournament as we speak.
It's really bunched up here at the Classic Golf and Country Club.
But this Shaurya really totally opens up the gates for all of the players who are currently even just outside of the top 20. So, you know, players who are currently at 8 under par for the tournament, just 5 shots away. A couple of birdies down the stretch as they come into the back nine could actually create a lot of damage on that leaderboard. What a brilliant shot here on the 17th hole from that front bunker. Be a tough putt downhill all the way to the hole, but it's tough to judge this one, you know, really. You can't fly it all the way to the hole and spin it up, and if you try to be too cute with it, you know, you could be left right up there. So brilliantly played there by the player.
Yeah, I thought that will roll on a little more, so surprised for it to stay short. Now this is from the back right of the green. Speed definitely on this hole has not been a factor. If anything, it's slower than expected here on hole number 17. We'll need to fly it almost at least half the way. And that's really well done. That's an absolute beauty right there. Just about missing the hole. We also want to take a moment talk about the umbrella partners. DP World. DP World is reshaping the future of global trade to improve life everywhere, operating across 6 continents with a team of over 125,000 employees. They combine global infrastructure and local expertise to deliver seamless supply chain solutions, from ports to terminals to marine services, logistics and technology. They leverage innovation to create better ways to trade, minimize disruptions from the factory floor to the customer's door. You also have the other partners. Amul, powering the PGTI surge. It's India's largest food brand and 8th largest dairy company globally. As we have a look at this putt on hole number 17, and an attempt to secure par for Ronan Clue. The Swiss playing alongside Lorenzo Scalise and Connor Purcell from Ireland. And that seems to be the theme on this green. Having to replace that marker now.
It is a tough putt to make, isn't this? This pin today is in a precarious location. And as we speak, Saptak Talwar has also made another birdie and joined alongside the leaders. Saptak Talwar had 3 under par for the day. Rashid Khan and MJ Duffy seem to be playing on neutral gear, as you mentioned, Shaurya. Interesting times ahead. I think over the next 27 holes, things are going to look extremely interesting on this golf course. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the vicinity of the Delhi NCR, I implore you all, you must come down over here and watch this amazing golf being played by some of the best players in the country and some of the best players internationally who play in the European region. And weather conditions here are absolutely fabulous, so you could completely make a day out of it. And tomorrow being Sunday, what better time could you be spending on a free day like that? Unfortunately, not so happy with that. Of course, a drop shot here.
Oh, unfortunately, the luck of the Irish not working out that time, missing it on the lower side. So you'd have to take 4. On this
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है
मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद कैंपा वाली जिद कैंपा वाली जिद कैंपा वाली जिद
Back to the live action over here with that beautiful aerial view here of the classic Golf and Country Club. A beautiful lush fairways here, beautifully playing. The golf course has been admired by most of the players that I've spoken with this morning. Shaurya, they've really been complimenting on the greens rolling at about 10 on the stimp meter, and with greens which are rolling beautifully, of course that making birdies just becomes a whole lot easy. As we now come out onto the 17th hole, Christopher Rahm from Sweden. Christopher currently at 4 under par.
I think this is the ideal hole to utilize his height. Can really bringing the ball from quite a lot of elevation and put some spin on that as well. Can actually eliminate that front left portion and just fly it all the way back there. Let's see if he's been able to do that.
We're back to the 13th hole here, the par 4, spanning over 429 yards. What a brilliant golf shot this is to this tough flag location. Nearly about 15 feet away for a birdie. Second shot coming up over here, just a wee bit short off the hole, just about, should be about 18 odd feet for another birdie.
I would also like to talk about Axis Bank, one of the largest private sector banks in India. Offers the entire spectrum of services to customer segments covering large and mid corporates, SME, agriculture and retail businesses. It has 6,110 domestic branches and 12,838 ATMs, staggering amount of infrastructure. And the bank's Axis Virtual Center is present across 8 centers. And now they've joined the Professional Golf Tour of India, the DP World Professional Golf Tour of India.
This is our first look at the group of Alejandro Aguilera, Brushwarpal Singh and Anton Albers. Arjun Sharma coming up onto the 18th hole. Really helping that ball through that bunker, and not quite the attempt that he would have liked. Flat stick still out, so he's found the putting surface, but not quite the shot that he would have wanted. Brushwarpal Singh has left himself on the low side of the hole. This is going to be a tough up and down. He's decided to go with a flat stick over here. He was like a bit of a, much more of a prudent approach.
Yeah, I think can utilize a Texas wedge here, sort of hit it above the equator. Would have been difficult to chip it here, what do you think?
Well, certainly, and seems like he's got more of the rough to work with than the green at this moment. And he's also got the aim point going, and every inch is being measured as we speak.
Yeah, the flag here at hole number 13, 31 from the front and 3 from the right. And that's been the theme of the week. The flags are hugging the corners. So if you go for the flag, there's not much room. Going with the cack-handed grip, lower hand down.
Brushwarpal with a 2 over par today on the scorecard, leaving that one way short off the hole.
Didn't quite get that top spin going on.
Well, it was a tough shot to be played. Actually, you know, it was really a wedge shot. I don't think the flat stick would have cut it from there in any case. There was just too much of rough to contend with there. Shaurya, he had, in fact, he had more rough than green to work with.
Yeah, didn't have much green, sort of caught between hell and high water, and unfortunately now he'll have another 10-footer try and make his par. While we have a look at Alejandro Aguilera, 5 under par. A golfer from Spain, playing alongside the Indian player and the German, Anton Albers. Putt should break a little bit to his left, right towards the end. And just about running out of steam.
And you read that one in beautifully, and I think he could have played that slightly higher than he did. And Anton Albers now from Germany for a birdie. He should have got a good read from Alejandro's putt.
Yes, Anton Albers with the flowing mane. We'll have this putt from left to right. The good thing about this putt is that it'll get there on its own. Rather slick from this side on hole number 13. A little bit of an under read and missing it on the lower side. As we've spoken to a lot of players, putting has been the arch nemesis this week. Otherwise, this course is normally there for the taking, where it's sort of bared its fangs, so as to speak. And wind as well, yesterday was a factor. Now it's sort of quieted down. But I think all things considered, today has proven to be a difficult day for the players.
Brashwar Singh now has a putt for a par over here, nearly about 15 feet short of the hole is where he left himself.
In an animated discussion there, the brothers.
Lots of detailing being done on that putt. Beautiful roll in there on the 18th par 5. A player playing alongside Arjun Sharma.
This is the group of Jacopo Wecchi and Jonathan Rasmussen.
Back to the brothers. You've finally got a read.
You know, I think, Rahul, I'll let you call this one.
Leaks it out a little bit, unfortunately. Not quite the kind of attempt that Brashwar would have liked. We'll have to settle for a bogey over here. You know, missing it on the low side first and then, you know, going with a flat stick really wasn't quite the prudent approach that one would have liked to see over here. But nonetheless, Brashwar Singh has still got a few more holes to play. And let's see if he can make do with those. As we get back to the 18th hole, we have Jonathan Rasmussen. And rolls that one in beautifully. No problem there. And Arjun Sharma leaving himself just short of the hole. Yet to see his putt for par.
We also have Amrutanjan Electro Plus as one of the tour partners. Amrutanjan Healthcare Limited is a 127-year-old company with a rich legacy and is best known for its iconic brand Amrutanjan Pain Balm, a purpose-driven and innovative company. Amrutanjan Electro Plus is a juice-based electrolyte drink offered for the first time in India in a convenient PET bottle. We also have Campa, one of the tour partners. Campa powers your Zid. Campa, the spark behind every Zid. And I'm thinking you're going to require a lot of that doggedness to try and win this tournament. Zid translates to the penchant to not give up. So this is indeed going to be what you require at Classic Golf and Country Club if you are to win this tournament. Really nice work done by the drone operator. One of the finest resort golf courses, Classic Golf and Country Club. Situated in the heart of the northern capital region.
At DP World PGTI, we don't just host tournaments. We build a world-class platform for Indian and international golfing excellence. We bring together emerging talent and global champions, backed by strong partnerships with leading corporations, iconic venues, and support from national sporting bodies and government associations. Our ecosystem is built on credibility, scale, and influence. With extensive live broadcast coverage and growing digital reach, we curate massive gatherings, a fun together that affects the community both on and off the course. PGTI, where champions are made.
Back to the live action over here at the DP World PGTI Open 2026, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a brilliant 3 days over here. We are right in the middle of the third round, the penultimate round, or the moving day, as it's called. And the only guy who seems to be moving in the right direction right now is, of course, Saptak Talwar, the man who won just last week at the Indorama Ventures Open in Kalahar Blues and Greens. And this was Saptak's second win here on the PGTI. And this week could definitely be his international title, which could completely open all new doors for him.
Yes, and another one making moves is Charlie Foster. 6 under par today.
Yura Premlal also at 4 under par for the day. Ravi Kumar also at 3 under par for the day through the front nine. And we've got Tapio Pukkonen, who is also at 4 under par through 12 holes of the day. Lorenzo Scalese is also at 4 under par. 8 under par total for the tournament, currently through the first 6 holes of the day. And of course, these were some of the notable scores who are using that moving day completely to move in the right direction. Back onto the 18th hole here, the par 5. What lush fairways here. Beautiful setting here at the classic ITC Golf and Country Club. It seems like the third shot here on the 18th using a wedge.
It's a group of Connor Pescia, Ronan Klug, and Lorenzo Scalise. MG Duffy finally getting a birdie and moving to 14 under par, leading this tournament. Very keenly contested tournament, bunched up. If you have a look at that leaderboard, you find that within 5 shots of the leader, you have a total of 20 players. So it's going to be interesting to see how things proceed. Ronan here on hole number 18 with that flag right towards the back right, and brilliant drone camera work right there. Giving you a different vantage point altogether. So he'd have that 15-footer. Now that's an awkward lie here.
An awkward lie that is coming in from that downslope onto this flag location here is going to be a tough stopper. Seems like that was his third shot. At least he had some room to work with. That flag location, imagine if it was on the left side of the green Sharia, that would have been no man's land.
Exactly, but now he'll have a little space. He had a little space to work with, so all things considered, not the worst thing to happen.
Thick rough over here for Connor Purcell.
The Irish on the par 5.
Currently 1 under par for the day and 5 under par for the tournament. Is a tie for 39th position is Connor.
The Irishman require Spanish hands on this one. Need to get under this to get it anywhere close to this flag. Not the easiest of shots. I'm pretty certain that he has it within his vast repertoire.
Playing with a bit of a bump and run kind of an approach, has played it beautifully. Yeah, the Irishman must have played enough of links golf, I'm assuming, to have tons of short game shots in his bag.
Really well done there. We should be able to knock that in.
Now you can see, ladies and gentlemen, that flag location today on the 18th hole, far back and far to the right. It's so close to the fringe. You really can't take any chances. Well, Lorenzo Scalise is coming in at 8 under par currently. So 4 under par for the day. Lorenzo going with a wedge over here. It seems like he's also going with a little bit of a bump and run. He's got enough room to work with over here on the par 5 18th. Bump and run kind of an approach with that wedge, and has done so beautifully.
Benign conditions. The wind has died down, and it appears that the golf course is there for the taking. Low scoring week. The cut being applied at 4 under par at the DP World PGTI Open 2026, and we're here at hole number 18.
Roland Clue currently 5 under par, putting for a birdie here.
Fairly makeable putt, breaking to his left at the end. I expect this to threaten the hole.
Well, quite didn't put the wheels on it. Just right at the start, he didn't even get the right hit on the ball.
That was not his best effort. For corner after that brilliant short game exhibition. Should move a little to his right. We'll have to be circumspect of the grain. We've seen that that has caused a little bit of struggle for a lot of the players. Aim a little bit outside left and ensure that he gets enough on it. Oh, that was looking a little iffy, but turned out really well for him, and he would be happy with that birdie.
Just because it was on the high side, and 2 shots over the green over here on this long par 5. Conor Purcell has really knocked 2 big ones straight off the tee and one off the fairway, and this pretty much would have gone right next to the hole for his second shot. As we take a look back.
That second shot for him would have been really something while standing at it. Would have pitched somewhere around the flag. Brilliant effort nevertheless to come up with 4 on hole number 18.
There was Lorenzo Skelly's.
Some of the other players out in the golf course. Robin Williams from South Africa is at 1 under for the day, 5 under for the tournament. And you have Alejandro Aguilera, 1 over for the day, 5 under for the tournament. Varun Chopra, the American, 2 under for the day, 6 under for the tournament.
Our first look here at young Karthik Singh coming up from over the green here.
Also having found a gnarly lie.
Coming in from the rough over here on the 10th hole, the par 4. So has still got some room to work with. Seems to have gone with a pretty prudent approach over there, and leaving himself just a teeny tiny putt remaining for a par. Brilliant approach there by Karthik Singh.
Karthik, mind you, just 16 years of age. He's playing a game well beyond his teenage years. Going toe-to-toe with the best in the world. Tapio Pukkonen at 4 under par and 9 under for the tournament. The lowest round of the golf course is Charlie Foster, 6 under par and 12 under par. MJ Duffy making another birdie, moving to 15 under par, and Adam Wallen 1 shot behind at 14 under par. Indian golfer Saptak Talwar in third position at 13 under par, and Lucas Nemeth at 13 under par alongside Rashid Khan.
Mark Power now putting for a birdie here on the 10th hole. We should break a little bit from the left to the right. A brilliant approach shot over here on the 10th. We've seen very little number of shots which have come very close to the hole. He's done beautifully. Let's see if Mark can find the bottom of the cup over here to move to 9 under par. This spot. Feeling a putting stroke with parallel palms. And then holds a conventional grip. And unfortunately, seems like he's overread that one. Pablo Areno.
Fairly straightforward putt, you'd say.
Well, come from his left, but certainly would have had a good look at the line, looking at Mark's putt over there. And there he is, 3 under par for the tournament currently. Pablo Areno, all the way from Spain. Karthik Singh, putting now for a par.
Playing alongside Mark Power from Ireland. Karthik, the next great hope, I'd say, coming out of India.
Certainly a strong contender for that. We've seen Karthik has actually held his own in all of the international as well as the domestic professional events that we've seen him play this year. And brilliantly hold there. Superb up and down. Karthik would stay at 10 under par as he moves to the 11th. HotelPlanner Tour, formerly called the Challenge Tour. Its first official season in 1989 and has developed into a proven training ground where the champions in waiting compete across the globe for a place on the DP World Tour. Major champions including Justin Rose, Matt Fitzpatrick and Brooks Koepka have actually played on the HotelPlanner Tour and got their cards through here. At the end of 2026 Road to Mallorca season, leading 15 players will be promoted to the DP World Tour. Owing to this, and Shamim Khan from India rolls that one in beautifully for a birdie on the 18th hole.
Smooth as ever. The man is the highest grossing golfer in the DP World Professional Golf Tour of India. Doesn't hit the ball too far, but has probably one of the best short games in the world ever. An excellent putter and really good from 150 yards and in. An experienced campaigner. Now probably in his mid-40s. Has stitched up quite the career. Been a very proficient golfer, has Shamim.
You know, Shaurya, about 10 years ago, I remember there were a lot of long hitters on the tour who were competing at that point of time, and Shamim was the number one that year on the PGTI. And you know, for the length that he hits, you know, one would think that in a course like the IDC, you would see the longer hitters actually winning. And Shamim Khan won that tournament by a mile, an absolute mile. Subhash now from Nepal, putting for a birdie. Moved to 4 under par for the tournament.
Unique pre-shot routine. That's probably the first time that I've seen the ball on the other side. Let's see if that works for him on this attempt.
Unfortunately, the ball is also on the other side, and have to tap that in for a par. Subhash Tamang would remain at 3 under par as he moves through the front line.
Yeah, you can see he's a little deflated from that, and rightly so. That was a very short birdie attempt, and unfortunately missed that. Considerable rough here around the greens this week.
Players waiting for their third player, Christopher Ram, to show up onto the dance floor. As we now get our co-commentator Shivas Nath to come in and join us here in the commentary box.
Look at hole number 10, a short par 4. After drive, many of the longer hitters get to maybe about 60 to about 70 yards to the green, depending on the wind condition. So placed to almost 400 yards. And the pin now right at the back right. A narrow sliver of a green this one, but a definite birdie hole.
Well, thank you, Rahul, for having me back in the commentary booth. A pleasure to sit with you, Shaurya. And yep, the weather has cooled off a bit as we get close to 5:30 p.m. The temperature dropping as well, a bit of nip in the air as well. And yep, not really sure. We have more than an hour of play right now, but yep, it's going to be interesting to see where we end up at the end of day's play today and tomorrow. Again, promising to be a long day. Players are going to have to come in and complete their third round and then get their fourth round underway. It's going to be a quick turnaround tomorrow.
It's going to be a nail-biting finish for sure here at the Classic Golf and Country Club. Back to hole number 10. Maxence Giboudon, the Frenchman. Has he got that putt? That was a really nice putt by him, just about skimming past the hole.
Yep, certainly a good positive roll. No question about that.
But he's already had a memorable day thus far. He's had an ace on hole number 2, a hole-in-one on the par 3. So penultimate day has been pretty kind to Maxence, but unfortunately he's not been able to make any birdie. So he has an eagle and a par on the scorecard, but wants to be making a few of the red numbers as well. Now the youngster from India, Pritish Singh Karayat, also very promising youngster. At one of the junior events here, he's shot a 10 under par on this very golf course. So you can well imagine the kind of game that this youngster possesses.
And speaking of, birdies eluding people or players, Rashid Khan's played 7 holes today, round 3, all 7 pars, just hasn't moved. He needs a birdie or 2 to get himself going. He's 2 behind the leaders who are at 15 under. That's of course Duffy. Good roll by Pritish. Oh, it was a good positive stroke, but just missed it.
Yeah, that came in really hot and very assertive approach.
Aggressive and assertive, right, Shaurya? That's how the youngsters play. I like that. Fearless.
They didn't quite hold back.
And Jared Hack, of course, full-time member of the tour, came here, played Q School, has done well in the US. There's a wonderful meme that was created around Jared Hack maybe 10 years ago, where it was him and Adam Schenk and another golfer called Yip, who were all part of the same 3-ball, and that was a bit of fun that the tournament director at the time of the nationwide tour was having Hack, Schenk and Yip in the same 3-ball.
You don't want to be having any of those on these
Absolutely
greens.
not.
Well, he's definitely does not suffer from a case of the yips while he makes that birdie. Jared, he's really acclimatized himself to India. Has been one of the premier players on the DP World Professional Golf Tour of India since he's joined ranks this year. Has been one of the breakout stars.
So indeed, he hit the ground running with a win. In fact, I would say he hit the ground flying, and then he had a terrific outing in 72 the league, and stellar 3-week stretch starting last week at Kalhar and now here at ITC and followed next week at the DLF. I think he's going to really enjoy his time in India. So that's Pritish Singh Karayat on the 10th, cleaning up from 3 feet for his par after his very aggressive birdie attempt. No mistake there, dead center.
Yeah, calm and composed, the youngster. It's a perfect mix of youth and experience.
That's a great shot that was right there from our camera people. Giving a good visual on the elevation changes on that green. And no mistake there. Pars all around, and they move on.
Yeah, gesticulating to the caddy, not quite certain what they're talking about.
Well, it's quite interesting. Yeah.
पढ़ता है खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
Delivering golf anywhere you can imagine. That's smart logistics to a T.
I'm sorry, sir. My mistake.
पर हम भी जिद्दी है
मुश्किल खड़ी है खोले सीना सामने एक चट्टान है मेरी जिद का बोले पसीना चट्टानों के अंदर आसमान है जिद क्या बावाली जिद क्या बावाली जिद क्या बावाली जिद
So back to the 17th green. A lot of activity. Player and caddy communicating, trying to get the right read on this. This of course is from some distance away, 20-25 feet, just off the edge on the fringe, on the first cut, the collar. Needs to give this a good roll. Greens have been very impressive this week, I have to say. The players have been very complimentary of the course conditions and the planning and the way the tournament has been conducted and played out, given the swing in the weather conditions. And there you have it. It's at about a foot and a half past, giving it a little more respect in terms of line.
And the week after the Hero Indian Open, the tour heads on to the Andhra Open, the Boulders Classic, and then the DP World PGTI Players Championship.
Shaurya Bhattacharya, well, not quite on the same line, but a couple of feet away. Coming in, should have learned something from what he just saw. Another very, very solid player, young Shaurya is. Very humble, very calm, very hardworking, and he seems to have given it less line and less speed, and yeah, that's about a foot away. He should clean that up for a tidy par.
The HotelPlanner Tour moves on after this for the Italian Challenge Open, and then to Spain for Challenge de Catalunya, then the Danish Golf Challenge, and Challenge de España. A jam-packed schedule for May, a strong schedule for the HotelPlanner Tour for the month of May.
Well, it's really so wonderful and, you know, heartening, Shaurya, to see a full calendar on the HotelPlanner Tour as well. And Charlie Forster, of course, at 12 under, a stroke off the lead. Would have loved to have made that birdie enjoying a share of the lead, but he'll need to wait for that.
Now a look at Yuvraj Sadhu, the phenom, the reigning #1 champion on the DP World Professional Golf Tour of India, has a card on the DP World Tour. One of the most impressive players to have come out of the Indian roster in recent years.
Well, that is certainly an aggressive pitch. The pin is set at a very interesting spot. It's a bit of a slope about 10 feet short of the flag, and a lot of guys have been hitting that slope and the ball stopping there. And Yuvraj, of course, getting a little more aggressive, flying it up just past the flag and feeding off to the back. And, you know, speaking of Yuvraj, we'd absolutely love for him to do very well next week at the Indian Open. He would absolutely love to win the National Open, no question about that. It's good to see him in India, acclimatizing himself before he heads back to Europe.
Yuvraj playing alongside Pedro Figueiredo and Andres German Galejos. All of the players have about 70 yards to the flag, and that is really well done, leaving about 10 feet there.
No, certainly a very good pitch. That one is a putt that's going to move a bit from his right to left. A great visual from our camera team, from the drone. The land expands here. The ITC Classic, Jack Nicklaus design, 27-hole championship course. An absolute gem on the Indian tournament rota.
Yuvraj, there's quite a few victories here on the DP World Professional Golf Tour of India. 7 to be exact, which is a record on tour. Currently, he's at 11 under par, 3 under for the day. I'd say that's pretty much in it. Although MJ Duffy now going on a little bit of a tear. He's birdied 3, 6, 7, 8. So I had a set 8 first 5 holes, but has picked it up from there and now moves to 16 under par. So the experienced campaigner from South Africa now really blazing a hot trail.
Charlie Forster as well, 6 under for the day today. He's really being aggressive. He's at it. He's found his way up to 12 under for the tournament, and he's now in tight 6th place. He's got a solid round going right there.
Now the Portuguese golfer, Pedro Figueiredo, putting for his birdie here. This putt would break from his left, maybe all of 22 feet. Let's see if he can get this one, but seems like it's gone a little array. And he'll have that 5-footer coming back. Should not be too difficult. The one coming back right in for him, so should be able to clean up for his par. Now you'll have part of Andres German Galejos for his birdie.
So interestingly, bit of trivia. Rashid Khan has made a bogey after 7 straight pars, and that makes him also the only player in the top 30 that's over par for the day.
Yuvraj Sandhu after that pitch from the first cut. Will have this as an outside chance for birdie. Maybe all of 20 feet breaking from his left. Will have to contend with about a foot of that fringe. You see that ball bobbled up a little bit?
Yes, it did bobble up. We did see that. And a good result, of course. Great speed and distance control.
Would have to be satisfied with a par here. Andres German Galejos from Argentina, the reigning World Cup champions. And not too many months to go when that Football World Cup comes around once again. Of course, none of that would be on his mind at this point in time. He's currently at 9 under par, so needs to get a move on this back 9 if he is to contend tomorrow.
No mistake there. Well done. Solid putt. So he's been listening to you, Shaurya. The birdie dance happens. He's at 10 under and very well deserved and needed.
Yeah, moves to double digit under par. That's just what the doctor ordered. And going down on bended knee is Pedro Figueiredo, the Portuguese. Both players from rich football nations with a lot of heritage.
We have a football fan in the commentary box, no question about that. And yes, you're right.
I'm pretty certain so are these players. It's a big game out in Europe. And he holds that for his 4. So they will go on to the difficult 11th. Probably one of the more difficult holes here at the Classic Golf Resort and Country Club. The long par 3 to contend with. Sandwiched between the 2 easy par 4s, hole number 10 and 12. And that's our first view of the expensive, beautiful Classic Golf and Country Club. MJ Duffy moves to 16 under par. Adam Wallen, the youngster, at 14 under par. Lucas Nemeth's 13 under par. And the Indian challenge being spearheaded by Saptak Talwar.
Saptak's, of course, been running very hot.
Now I'd like to call in my colleague Rahul Bajaj.
So as we get to the midway of round 3, things certainly very interesting. Not really very sure how much daylight we have, but I would imagine probably another hour of play, 45 to 60 minutes is what we have. So it's tomorrow certainly again going to be a very long day for our players and of course our tournament staff and officials. But again, these are the joys and the perils of running international events, running sporting events. There are things that you can plan for and there are things that you cannot. But then yet again, it's a joy to put these wonderful events together and make sure all the players, international and local, leave happy.
Well, that's the thing about sport, right? You've got a lot of surprises that come in. Jared Hack needs a bit of quiet there for his putt here on the par 3 11th. Currently at 10 under par for the tournament. Jared Hack is coming to India just at the start of 2026 and played extremely well since he started off over here on the PGTI of India. In fact, won the qualifying as well as the first tournament that he played in. Jared Hack makes another birdie over here, moves to 11 under par. And that would take Jared up to a tie for 8th position on that leaderboard. Going strong here, man from the United States of America who has decided to ply his trade on the other side of the globe.
Well, they call round 3 moving day, but the move certainly being made by a lot of players, and some of it is also going to continue till tomorrow morning when the players are back early to complete their 3rd rounds. And we certainly hope that the light is out, because this morning again we had a bit of a delayed start owing to poor light. So hopefully tomorrow is better.
So for some of the viewers who might not know, play started today for the 3rd round at 1:45 in the afternoon, and the last tee off, which is the leader group, started off at 3:35 in the afternoon, which doesn't give them enough time, enough daylight to be able to finish the round. Taking a look here at the short little putt, and unfortunately on veering off to the right. Quite surprised, Julian Brunn. He didn't quite expect that, did he?
No, he seemed very surprised, you're right, and very disappointed. Definitely an incorrect read on that one.
Going back to what I was mentioning for our viewers, if the play is not completed on that very day, then the players have to return back at the first light in the morning to come back and finish off the round, and thereafter they will go on to start the 4th round after that. So once the players finish, it'll be about a 1-hour break between the submitting of the scorecard till the next tee offs begin. And that was Pritish Karayat, a youngster from India. He's gotten off to a strong start himself here on the Professional Golf Tour of India at 9 under par currently, 1 under par for the day.
I have to say, Rahul, Pritish is a very, well, of course he's young, but he's a very aggressive and a very confident player. Very impressive, for sure.
Absolutely. I think, Shivas, one thing is there, you cannot be a person who holds back or plays defensive if you want to play professional elite sports. And I think that's something you would see that most of the players who would end up making it to the bigger levels would have that quality, right? I mean, we've seen that in the past, players who are defensive, you'd see them somewhere around the middle rung of that leaderboard. You'd never really see them on the top. So we take a look at a player here who's coming from the woods. Certainly not Tiger. There's someone else who is trying to get his scramble numbers up and does a fine job of that. Leaves himself just on the edge of the green.
Yeah, not a bad result at all. That would be an interesting little chip. Definitely makeable.
Tenth hole here. Seems to have missed it on the right side. Good shot there on the 10th hole from the right side of the rough. And coming in to this place is really, really good.
That's a good looking pitch shot. Not too much, a bit too much, but it's good that he stayed on the green and didn't trickle over the back like we saw with Yuvraj a few minutes ago.
Nice shot here. On to the 11th now, the par 3. Very interesting par 3. There's the 11th hole here at the ITC Classic. 18 in from the front today, and 5 right is the flag location. Not the toughest flag location on this hole. What a brilliant shot that is.
Outstanding.
And leaves himself right next to the hole for a very makeable birdie opportunity. A tough par 3, lengthy one, about 224 yards.
That's interesting.
Yuvraj Sandhu coming up on this 11th hole as well. Now 224 yards to the green over here, and I think the players should be going in with somewhat like a 5 or a 4 iron.
It's also very interesting that all the scorecards and the tee markers have the length of the hole in yards as well as meters, because there are a lot of European players that actually have their measurements in meters. So this just makes things a bit simplified for them.
Certainly.
Oh, that's a big miss.
Absolutely, Yuvraj has left himself in a tough spot for that up and down. Back in the day, Shivas, I don't know if you remember, this green used to have a lot of back to front slope.
Yes,
So
indeed.
if you were on the right side of the green, that ball could curve literally 15 feet from the right of the hole.
No, absolutely. And this is a green or a hole that has given a lot of the club golfers and members fits as well, because probably unknown to most of our viewers, the left side of the hole there's a ravine, there's an out of bounds, and it's a lot of hard work to get the ball to the putting surface, particularly for the average amateur golfer.
Another brilliant shot over here as we take a look at the player who has just left it on the edge of the green, coming in from the rough. Mathis Bessard, 10 under par currently. And
it looked actually very well judged and online. He just ran out of gas. It was a good chip, for sure.
Mathis Bessard is from Belgium. Plays at the Weergem Golf Club. He's playing alongside Aaron Zemmer from Italy, as well as Yannick De Bruyn from Germany.
Definitely a very strong international flavor at this event, and we're going to see the same next week as well, and just as we did last week. So it's really wonderful to see this quality of golf and this quality of players, hardworking, disciplined.
Yannick and Mathis both at 10 under par, currently tied at 11th position. Aaron Zemmer, who is currently at a tie for the 3rd position at 13 under par. Look at Yannick De Bruyn, who's a southpaw. Birdie putt here.
And he's made it.
Rolls that one in brilliantly. Lots of aggression there on that putt. Like my way or the highway. That was the speed on that putt.
That was tracking. Jumps up about 3 or 4 spots now, just into the top 10 at 11 under, at tied 8th.
Absolutely, still early days, but certainly each birdie in the kitty is going to get you closer to that top spot and makes your job that much more easier coming into the day 4.
Aaron Zemmer. Well, you should have learned something from the previous putt. And he's given that a roll. Has he got enough on it? No, not quite. Par, safely done.
Well, fun fact is that MJ Duffy is now at 3 under par for the day. 16 under par for the tournament and leads the way currently. And in fact, he's made 50% of the holes he has played have been birdies. He played 8 holes so far with 4 birdies on that scorecard. And 3 of them happen to be on the trot on hole number 6, 7 and 8. Not easy holes by a long shot, Shivas.
Well, he's indeed an experienced player. It's something that I think he's relishing the opportunity to play here, compete, lead, and he's absolutely no mood to give this away at all.
Certainly,
very determined.
Certainly, and Lucas Nemec also at 14 under par now, just 2 shots away alongside Adam Wallen and Mathis Bessard now as we take a look at him at the 10th hole for a par. Rolls one in, no trouble for him coming in from that rough. A brilliant scramble par there for Aaron Zemmer. And Saptak Talwar from India at 13 under par as well. 3 shots away from the lead. Rashid Khan seems to be having a bit of a subdued round currently at 1 over par for the day. 12 under for the tournament. Ravi Kumar has come up at 4 under par for the day. 11 under par for the tournament, has jumped up 10 spots on that leaderboard to be tied alongside Yuvraj Sandhu.
You're right. He's just slowly and steadily just snuck his way up that leaderboard, and he's right there now.
Back here onto the 11th hole. There's certainly a misread there.
Be interesting to see where Yuvraj has hit his pitch, because he missed it miles right, and that's a visual of the hole we were talking about, and the hedge on the left, and of course the out of bounds that drops off into the ravine. Yes, so that's Yuvraj. He's hit it about 6 feet. Definitely a makeable putt. That would be a terrific save, I'd say, because he missed it way right, Rahul.
Yes, Yuvraj certainly has his work cut out at this moment to stick around at 11 under par. Yuvraj himself has been, trying to confirm himself a spot onto the DP World Tour, which he has for the year, and he's going to be plying a lot of his trade over there. So this tournament on the HotelPlanner Tour could be an important tournament for him. If he can convert something this week, you never know what's in store for him. And Yuvraj Sandhu nearly about 15 feet away for a par. Knocks that one in brilliantly. Yuvraj Sandhu stays at 11 under par for the tournament, moving into the 12th hole of his 3rd round.
Well, that was a very, very confident stroke, and I have to say, Rahul, I thought he was about 6 feet away because there was a patch on the green, which I actually believed with my aging eyes was actually the cup. So I do owe an apology to our viewers. Well, I need to work on my eyesight, just as I do need to on my golf.
Birdie putt here for Andres German Gallegos from Argentina. Drops a birdie over here. Brilliant tee shot here for Andres.
That was indeed a terrific tee shot. Very well judged, and
Andres would go on to move to 10 under par to be at a tie for 12th position, tying alongside Karthik Singh, Jared Hack and Mathis Bessard. A brilliant aerial view of the 12th green. 11th green, my apologies. Green from the appearance, when you see it aerial, it doesn't seem so tough. It actually slopes all the way from the back to the front in towards that bunker. And there we are, Saptak Talwar.
Well, Saptak's a very, very solid player, isn't he, Rahul?
Absolutely, he's a very impressive golfer who is playing alongside Lucas Nemec and Albert Bonetta today.
Saptak's played a lot of golf in Canada as well, hasn't he, on the Canadian PGA Tour at some point. It's lovely to see young players travel, go out, play in different countries. It's also wonderful that, a lot of them do it from their young amateur days where they travel across Asia, play in Hong Kong, Singapore, China, the Philippines, Malaysia, the UAE.
It's worth appreciating, how Saptak actually puts himself out there and plays on international tours and really puts himself into positions where he can compete on higher tours and, among the very best in the world. And that's the way to do it, Shivas. You've got to really keep upping the game. And only if you, run with a person who can run faster than you, can you try to run faster than that person. It just doesn't works like that.
Very well said. And speak about running, we've got to put in a good word about our colleague Nikhil Kalan, who's head of media. He's been running around getting a lot of player information to all of us in the commentary box, and well, he's also working on his fitness as he runs around getting us the information. Thank you very much, Nikhil. It's always appreciated.
Those are, of course, the perils of running around. Is you get some fitness in. I could run around some myself. Having said that, another aerial view of that beautiful golf course and the Aravali Hills there in the backdrop of the ITC Grand Bharat golf course. For all of you who are just about joining us, ladies and gentlemen, this is the DP World PGTI Open 2026. This is the inaugural event. This is being held jointly by the HotelPlanner Tour as well as the DP World PGTI, being played here at the ITC Classic Golf and Country Club just outside of Gurugram in the Delhi NCR region for a prize purse of $300,000. And players who are playing this week, half of the field is made up of the HotelPlanner Tour and half of the field is made up of the PGTI players. And as we've got Lucas Nemec currently at 14 under par for the tournament, comes in all the way from Austria, my apologies. And has had a strong amateur career in Austria and had his first taste of professional golf in the Alps Tour, finishing his rookie campaign in 2013 5th on the order of merit. Finished 10th on the road to Mallorca rankings in 2021 to earn a return to the DP World Tour for 2022. Lucas has been to India earlier and finished in a share of the second position at the Kolkata Challenge in 2025.
And interestingly, Rahul, on his profile, it also says, amongst his other interests, skiing and water skiing, which is not really surprising for people from Austria, because they absolutely love their snow, don't they?
Albert Bonetta from Spain, currently 11 under par.
So we have to say that, the pace of play has been pretty good, Rahul, and it's good to see the players also making a bit of an effort to kind of, speed up things a little bit, because that kind of makes sure that they get more holes done today, and well, there's less to do tomorrow, and well, I suppose a bunch of them would also have flights out tomorrow at some point in time, who are not playing the Indian Open next week. Otherwise, it's onwards to the DLF, and the practice rounds and the fun and games would begin starting Monday.
Saptak Talwar for his second shot here on the 10th hole. Approach shot. Seems to be a wedge. Probably all of about 80 or 90 yards is that shot.
Oh, it's a beauty.
Beautiful shot here by Saptak Talwar, setting himself for yet another birdie opportunity. This putt to move to 14 under par.
That was very copybook, his swing, his approach, the way, the tempo And the way he trapped the ball, very, very good technique there. And that's a tough pin position, you know, when you look at it right now from the aerial view. There's really nothing on the right side.
Certainly 24 in from the front and 4 from the right. You know, when players are hitting from the angle of the fairway, you've got to cover almost those 20 yards on the right side. So, you know, that 24 is actually from the left corner, which makes us the front edge of the green. But because the players are going straight away towards the flag location, they have to fly it a minimum of 20 or 22 yards if they want to get anywhere close to that whole location.
And the elevation, right? The elevation, because the green is elevated. So that itself, again, you know.
Another yard or two, I think.
Yes. So that was actually an excellent golf shot. And of course, leader has now moved to 17 under, opening up a 3-shot gap between Lukash and Imex, who's in second place. And Lukash, of course, the Austrian we were just talking about. So 3-shot lead with about, what, 27 holes to go.
Well, Duffy seems to have made another birdie on hole number 9, which is basically 4 birdies on the trot for him to turn at 4 under par.
Certainly loves this course.
Certainly, as we take a look back now here at the 10th hole, you've got players checking out the lines as we speak, getting ready to make their birdie putts. Albert Bonetta to go first, furthest away from the hole. Long attempt here for Bonetta to move to 12 under par. Bonetta has played a pretty subdued round so far. 2 birdies on the front 9, 1 bogey on the second hole. The turn at 1 under par, and has kept it pretty steady. Needs to make couple more birdies if he wants to have a shot tomorrow, because Duffy seems to be running away.
Graphics seem to suggest this is a par putt. So, very important. He does make it.
Well, a par it is then for Albert Bonetta from Spain. Sticks around at 11 under par after 10 holes.
Well, suddenly makes that 20-foot putt all the more important.
What a brilliant putt that was. All the time taken, well worth it. As we take a look now at Lucas Nemec, who is himself giving the title a good shot. 4 under par currently for the day after the front 9.
Interestingly, Lucas is 36 years old and turned pro back in 2012. This would be a terrific birdie. He needs this one to close the gap. Has he given it enough? No. And with this, I'm going to call my buddy Shaurya Singh in. He's been wildly gesticulating to me. He wants a piece of the hot seat. He gets what he wants.
Saptak Talwar now getting ready for his birdie putt. Move to 14 under par for the tournament.
के बाद तो ऐसा हुआ मतलब दैट मींस कि ये तीन ही दिख रहा है हाँ इवन सर वो प्लेयर था 7-10 पे मैंने उससे बोला मैं कहा गेम हो जाएगा कह रहा हाँ यार सन है
Another one of India's brilliant golf courses. Rolls that one in beautifully. Saptak Talwar moves to 14 under par for the tournament. A shot closer to MJ Duffy.
Yeah, just a shot closer to MJ Duffy, who of course is making short work of this golf course now. Seems to have really found his form. 4 birdies on the trot. Hole number 6, 7, 8 and 9. And he moves to 17 under par. An expansive view of this beautiful golf club. Mesmerizing here in the heart of the northern capital region in India.
Pritish Karayat.
Young Pritish Karayat, 9 under par. Coming along beautifully this week.
Pritish Karayat, all of 17 years of age, comes up on the left side of the green over here on hole number 13. Long way away, but a putt for birdie.
Interesting flag pin position. 31 from the front and 3 from the right.
Jared Hack is pretty much split the fairway into 2 halves. Currently at 11 under par for the tournament.
Really good from this range, inside 150 yards. I'd say he'd have about 140 odd yards to this flag. Let's see how he does here. Look at that, right on cue. What an absolutely beautiful shot by Jared.
Well, that should certainly help him to move to 12 under par for the tournament. Jared opening up another birdie opportunity here for himself.
Maxence Giboudot on hole number 13. The man with the ace on his card today.
Left it quite short of the green, but should be okay to make an up and down though from there. Is the leader group: Adam Wallen, Rashid Khan and MJ Duffy. Coming up here on hole number 10.
Making a move up the leaderboard, now at 14 under par, 4 under for the day. Rashid Khan, the Indian golfer, at 13 under par, not able to make a move on today, and even par for the day. Jared Hack, the American golfer who now plies his trade on the DP World Professional Golf Tour of India. Seeing record international participation at the DP World Professional Golf Tour of India. Increasing prize funds, world ranking points, stellar golf courses and strong fields. That results in a lot of participation, lots of birdies as well, Rahul.
Certainly does. Jared Hack, of course, giving himself yet another opportunity over here. 12 under par is what he will get to if he drains this one, and of course par 5 coming right after this. And Jared certainly has come into India just this year, but seems like he's someone who seems to appreciate the food that we serve them over there. We get back to the action here with the leader group on the 10th hole. Adam Wallen. Adam currently at 14 under par for the tournament, 3 under for the day.
The Swede had a very strong amateur career. Played collegiate golf in America and tasted a lot of success there. Turned pro about 2 years ago, and got the battleground exemption to the HotelPlanner tour.
MJ Duffy, our first look at him today. He's come up just on the right side of the green over here on the 10th. It's a bit of a tough up and down. He's got no room to work with. Just taking a free relief from what seems like a hydrant. He had his feet onto.
The ball is setting up well for him though. Should not be posing too many challenges for him from there.
Now let's see if he can get enough groove under the ball, and because he will have to fly this all the way to the green. Cannot quite play a bump and run. Well, I've been surprised today by that, so might see another one. Who knows? MJ Duffy, your leader, at 17 under par at the DP World PGTI Open 2026, ladies and gentlemen. This tournament here is being played at the IDC Classic Golf and Country Club for a prize purse of $300,000. MJ Duffy.
Let's see if he can make it 5 in a row. I think he has. I think he has. Look at that.
MJ Duffy with that fist pump there. 5 in a row. Moves to 18 under par for the tournament. What a shot that was.
Yeah, really has caught fire here. That wasn't the easiest of shots, but he's definitely made it look as such. I think for MJ Duffy, when it rains, it pours.
He's certainly making everything look very easy over here. A little action replay. Brilliant shot. Quick club head under the ball and really held its line. What a brilliant shot that was. Rashid Khan coming up for a birdie from the center of the green.
He's putting a little bit of daylight between him and the chasing pack is MJ Duffy. And Rashid Khan as well following suit. The Indian golfer makes birdie to move to 14 under par. Now he moves to second place. He doesn't want to get too left too far behind either. Nonchalant.
Well, Rashid finally making another birdie over here and moves to 14 under par for the tournament, coming off just one birdie on the 9th hole today. What a brilliant putt that, and Rashid Khan moves to 14 under par for the tournament. Still 4 shots away from MJ Duffy, who seems to be holding it from everywhere.
And young Adam Wallen. He's opened up a 4-shot chasm, so as to speak, MJ Duffy. And on this golf course, if you can maintain that lead, it's going to be very difficult to unseat him tomorrow, especially given the kind of form that he's in. He's in a purple patch of sorts, making birdies just for fun. And there's not many difficult spots on this golf course where you end up dropping shots even on the final day. So it's at this point in time, looks like he's firmly in the driver's seat.
Back to the second leader group over here. Lucas Nemec, Saptak Talwar and Albert Bonetta here on the par 3 11th hole. We have another replay of MJ Duffy's chip shot. He said, yes, even if I missed the green, doesn't really matter. I can still make a birdie. And Rashid Khan from the center of the green, nearly 50 feet away from the hole, drops that one in absolutely beautifully.
Fighting fire with fire there, Rashid Khan, keeping his hopes alive.
Lucas Nemec on the 11th hole, 14 under par currently, putting for a birdie.
The flag pin position here. 18 from the front, 5 from the right.
Leaves that just short of the hole. Lucas Nemec to stay at 14 under par through 11 holes.
One of the more genial pin positions. I think there could have been a lot more feisty with this one. This is quite accessible here on the right hand side of the green on 11. The difficult par 3.
Certainly we have seen some players come up quite close to this hole. We did see Andres German coming up fairly close to this hole just a few moments ago. Saptak Talwar now.
The winner from last week's tournament, Saptak Talwar, has played a lot of golf on the HotelPlanner Tour, the Asian Tour. He's a truly international player, is Saptak. Very good ball striker.
Saptak trying to carry on that form from last week. Unfortunately, wheels came off that ball. And Saptak to settle for a par here will stay at 14 under as he moves to hole number 12.
Seems to be nursing some sort of an ailment on that left wrist. As the players head on to hole number 12. A short par 4. And the prevailing wind conditions from left to right downwind should make this hole almost reachable for the longer hitters. Hole number 12.
Albert Bonetta now on the par 3. 11th hole, the third player in the second leader group.
Hole number 12 measures 388 yards. And for the longer hitters, in left to right wind, they can get the ball all the way up to the front edge. We have seen that if a player can fly the ball about 310 yards, you can bound it off the downhill and even get it on the green, unless you're playing into headwind. So that's a definite birdie hole. And for empty Duffy, we have a look at Albert Bonetta for his birdie here. And
he seems to have tugged that one a little bit. Bonetta will have to settle for a par. A brilliant tee shot there by Bonetta, but unfortunately that tug didn't help. Missed it on the low side.
Yeah, not his finest putt for Albert. He'll have another birdie opportunity on hole number 12. You know, as the tournament shapes up, I think Duffy is in brilliant position. He has the birdieable 12, 14, 15, 18, and here at 11, 224 yards. Majority of the field, this will probably be a 5-iron. But I think today they're playing from the front tee, so that would be about 200 yards. So maybe a 6-iron for him.
A very approachable flag location today. MJ Duffy finding the dance floor. He's got about 30 feet for a birdie.
And given the way that he's putting and chipping, that is a definite opportunity for him.
Rashid Khan, after that long birdie putt, which he holds successfully on hole number 10, coming up on the 11th. Rashid, of course, looking for his first win in a few years now. He's had a bit of a struggle last couple of years. He's come in close, but not really closed it.
Must also commend for doing some stellar work. Keeping that drone nice and steady in the crosswind.
Adam Wallen.
Collegiate golf star Adam Wallen from Sweden. That would be about 25 feet for his birdie.
Well, the three players finding the dance floor, but everyone about 30 odd feet away from the hole.
As they say, golfers come in different shapes and sizes. The diminutive Rashid Khan likes to work the ball from right to left. And stellar putter. Tenacious. It's one on the Asian Tour as well. Very accomplished golfer. Deep in conversation with the leader and talking about accomplished golfers. Here's one on our screen, Yuvraj Sandhu. Really well done here at hole number 13. That was a rather short pitch, it looked like.
Maybe way lesser. Seems like he pitched about 80 odd yards with his hands. And, there we have
Ashton Fry. I think I'll leave the second name without debauchering it. And you also have Maximilian Kiefer. The Austrian, the German, and the Indian. Hole in number 11. And I tell you that the drone view really does do a lot of justice to this golf course. Makes you appreciate the way that it has been designed. Brings out the golf course in all its splendors. ...224 yards from the back, the out of bounds on the left-hand side. This hole can be quite a difficult one if you play it to its entire length, and if it's playing into the wind, even the longer hitters can go with a 2-iron at times. Let's also have a look at some of the other scores out on the golf course. The lowest number posted thus far is by Charlie Foster. 6 under par, that takes him to 12 under par. Let's have a look at Adam now.
His ball should break a lot from the right to the left. Nearly about a putter from the right. Also depends on what length of putter you use, but looks like it's tracking and just lost out on gas over there. Rashid Khan to go next on this hole. He's currently at 14 under par for the tournament. Can Rashid make 3 birdies on the trot? Another long birdie putt here for Rashid Khan. He's a man who can really get on a streak, hot streak with that putter. It's it's a slow pace from where he was coming up. It's all the way uphill from there, as you can tell, even from the drone shot. And comes up just a wee bit short off the hole as we now wait for MG Duffy to come up with yet another birdie. Will this be his 6th birdie? Long putt. Seeming to make it look very, very easy. MJ Duffy, that's superb attempt here for another birdie, and gave it just the right amount of assertiveness, and leaves himself about 2.5 feet for a par.
MJ Duffy now, cleaning up for his spot. Would be interesting to note what approach he takes on hole number 12.
Duffy is a South African, but his home course is the Golf Club of Houston in the United States of America. 37 years of age and has one pro victory to his name. And has had quite the golfing career so far. Yuvraj Sandhu from the right side of the green and rolls that one in beautifully. Yuvraj Sandhu should move to 12 under par after that putt. There we have the leaderboard. MJ Duffy leads the way at 18 under par. 4 shots ahead of Lucas Nemec, Adam Wallen, Aaron Zemmer, Saptak Talwar and Rashid Khan. It's crowded out there. And Charlie Foster feeling lonely at 12 under par. And Ravi Kumar, Yuvraj Sandhu and Yannick De Bruin follow up at 11 under par. That rounds up the top 10 of the leaderboard for the DP World PGTI Open. The inaugural DP World PGTI Open 2026 being played here in Gurugram at the Classic Golf and Country Club. Beautiful setting here. The golf course is playing absolutely fantastically. The greens rolling at about 10 on the stimp meter. The weather gods have been absolutely fabulous throughout the week so far. An absolute treat for the viewers.
Yeah, it's getting a little late in the evening now. As you can see, the sun has set. Perfect setting here at hole number 18 in view. Jared Hack tied 11th alongside Yurav Premla, Maximilian Kiefer and Andres German Galahos. Young Indian golfer Karthik Singh, 16 years of age, has already tasted a lot of success. Still a future in front of him. To be this young and to be able to compete with some of the best players in the world that the HotelPlanner Tour has, it's indeed commendable.
We're left with just a few moments of daylight for this penultimate round. We take a look at the group of Yannick De Bruin. It's coming up on the 13th hole from the left rough. Playing partner to go first.
Yannick De Bruin playing alongside Aaron Zemmer and Matthias Bessard.
Matthias Bessard coming up from the fairway, 9 under par currently for the tournament. A brilliant shot here by Matthias Bessard, setting himself up for a birdie opportunity on hole number 13. Bessard currently at 1 over par for the day. Just a tie for 18th position. Young Karthik Singh. Back to Yannick De Bruin. Yannick, who's currently 2 under par for the day, 11 under par for the tournament, a tie for 8th position. His approach shot here on the 13th hole coming up from the left rough.
From this angle, a lot easier for the southpaw. Can work that ball. A little draw into that flag, and he's indeed done that. Really good shot right there, leaving himself under the flag Maybe about a 10, 12 footer for birdie.
Very makeable opportunity that he set himself up for over here. Third playing partner has already found his way onto the putting surface. Aaron Zemmer right in the middle of the green. Karthik Singh now. Karthik Singh is playing alongside Mark Power and Pablo Areno. Currently 10 under par for the tournament. Karthik coming up from the bunker here. And leaves himself just on the front edge of the green here on hole number 15, the par 4. Short par 4, hole number 15. Left himself in a tight spot with a long bunker shot to be played.
Yeah, that's a precarious position to be in. That bunker is about 50 yards short of the green, making it one of the more difficult shots that a professional golfer would face. That 50-yard bunker shot is neither here nor there. I think all things considered, that's a pretty decent shot by the youngster on hole number 15.
Aaron Zemmer putting for birdie.
Now this long putt, break to his left right at the end. We'll need to ensure that he puts enough speed on this one. We've seen this come up short time and again from this angle on hole number 13. The ominous hole number 13.
Slow putt this, going all the way uphill, moving from the right to the left, and leaves it just short of the hole. Maybe a case of over-reading the line and under-reading the speed.
Difficult to get that one all the way out to the hole.
We have yet another view of the classic golf and country club.
Hole number 16, the bottom right of your screen. Hole which is impeded by a large water body. One of the few holes that features water. The other one is hole number 9 and 6, where water does play a part. Yannick De Bruyne. Let's see if the German can make birdie. This is fairly makeable, you'd say, Rahul?
Absolutely. You just saw Raj Sandhu also make a putt from a similar line earlier. Let's see if Yannick can drain this one. Move to 12 under par for the tournament. And yes, he can. And Yannick De Bruyne moves to 12 under par for the tournament to be at a tie. At 7th position alongside Charlie Foster. Not so lonely anymore.
Well done. Made a really nice birdie from there. Able to capitalize on that second shot. Yannick De Bruyne.
Aaron Zemmer now on hole number 13. That was his par putt.
.6:37 local time here in Gurugram, the national capital region of India. You're watching the penultimate day's play here at the DP World PGTI Open 2026. A co-sanctioned event between the HotelPlanner Tour and DP World Professional Golf Tour of India. Hole number 15, and that's a horseshoe, unfortunately. There's the group of Karthik Singh, Mark Power, and Pablo Ereno. Oh, that is pretty similar to Pablo's putt, sir. It's something that is not quite discernible to the players or the naked eye, and substantial amount of break in that putt from the left.
Yeah, it seems like a blemish here for Karthik Singh, dropping a shot on the short hole. He did pretty all right with that approach shot, leaving himself on the front edge, but unfortunately didn't quite get that putt going in. And as you take the view in of the classic Golf and Country Club in the lights now, the sun has set, the day is over. The penultimate round is yet to be finished, ladies and gentlemen. There are many players yet to finish the third round of the tournament. And as news comes in, because of the daylight, the play for the day has been called off, and the players will be returning tomorrow morning to complete their third round. And as the third round gets completed, about 50 minutes to an hour after that, the players will resume play for the fourth day. And that's when we will come to know who will be crowned the winner of the inaugural DP World PGTI Open 2026, being played here at the Classic Golf and Country Club at this brilliant golf course. What a setting this is.
We implore you to stay with us as we'll bring you the highlights.
There we have Arjun Sharma coming up on the 13th hole. And they're leaving it in the jaws of the hole.
So hole number 13. Quite a few birdies here, but I think the scoring, if you compare it to day 2, has been a little more subdued. The lowest round came in at 6 under par, although majority of the field has not completed their round, so I expect that to go up. That was the Indian Angachima.
Angachima made a par there on the 17th hole after a pitch that he hit from the bunker. It is Subhash Tamang from Nepal who was playing alongside Christopher Ram, whom we just saw putting on that 13th hole as well. And there you have that brilliant shot on hole number 13th, setting himself up for a birdie opportunity.
That's the Austrian.
Unfortunately, came up short. Arjun Sharma.
It was really well done here at hole number 15. Soft hands, getting that ball to an abrupt stop. This is hole number 17. We saw this flag give quite a few difficulties to the players.
Warren Chopra who made a birdie over there. This was yet another birdie being made on this hole. Did give some difficulties and did definitely give its share of birdies. A brilliant bunker shot here as we saw earlier. From the right side of the 17th hole. A chip attempt and a brilliant one at that. And just about missing it. Nearly hold that chip. Here's the par putt after that bunker shot, unfortunately leaving it a bit short off the hole. Here we are, the players on hole number 18, closing it in for the day.
At Classic Golf and Country Club. The The only hole that did trouble the players somewhat was hole number 6.
.24-yard par 3. What a brilliant shot this was. Converting that into a birdie. And
left-hander making birdie there, the German.
On hole number 10. Firm one that he hit. There we have a relook at that tee shot. So good, we played twice for you. Yuvraj Sandhu with that par putt here on the 11th hole. What a brilliant up and down this was for him. Playing alongside him, his fellow player, making a birdie here. Saptak Talwar on hole number 10th. Coming up from the fairway, brilliant approach shot. Saptak with that brilliant approach makes that birdie. No trouble here for Saptak Talwar. This putt helped him move to 14 under par for the tournament. And MJ Duffy with that chip in here on hole number 10.
I think this might prove to be a pivotal moment. This is where he was able to extend his lead to 4 shots. And might this be the shot that would eventually win him the title?
But Rashid Khan, the man who is not going to settle, there for another birdie on hole number 10. Moved to 14 under par thanks to that long putt.
That putt helped Rashid stay within shooting distance of MJ Duffy, Yuvraj Sandhu, swashbuckling youngster.
And Yannick De Bruin with that approach shot here on hole number 13.
He really set up a nifty birdie there with that approach shot, and this putt was spot on.
Converted it absolutely beautifully.
Putt so nice, you gotta see it twice.
Karthik Singh finishing up there on hole number 15 for the day. That was me, Rahul Bajaj, and Shaurya Singh presenting to you the penultimate day's proceedings here on the DP World PGTI Open at the Classic Golf and Country Club here in Gurugram for a prize purse of $300,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be coming back with the live action again tomorrow. Please check out our social media channels for what time we will begin. Thank you.